Welcome back to Class Farms, guys. Kaya here with Jason.
What's going on, folks?
As you guys can see, we are not in the studio.
No, we're not in Kansas anymore, man.
That's right. We are in
New Hampshire.
Smith, New Hampshire, SAUER headquarters.
HQ.
Right? Yeah.
World HQ. So.
Exactly. Well, what are we going to do, man?
Apparently, we're going to go take some, behind the scenes, sneak peeks at some stuff that they got going on in their manufacturing process. Look at maybe some R&D stuff, maybe some hush-hush stuff that we obviously can't show.
Yeah.
But at least we know about it, so, I feel great about that one. So.
Yeah. Shout out the SIG SAUER and the entire team over here.
Yeah.
Obviously, they invited us over here. It's just an exclusive tour for Classic Firearms. I hope you guys enjoy what you're about to see. I'm super excited. I've done this at the SIG Next event. We did a video on that. Check it out if you guys haven't seen it. This is Jason's first time. Jason, just run the show. Have a good time, bro.
Brother, I'm in one of my favorite manufacturers here, and I've got a lot of personal items here that, of course, I have to ask the question. When new LVAW? So.
Well, you'll have the opportunity. So
I will.
You want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get to it.
This is like the main headquarters, so you've got our executive wing over here, marketing, product management, some supply chain. We've got IT and finance over here, and then we have our manufacturing and sustaining engineering. Okay. So we have multiple different divisions of engineering just based on, are they engineers that support production? So all right, there's an issue with this part. We got to dive down into why this part is looking a certain way and why it's not the way design engineers originally intended to be.
Right.
And then, so we have a completely separate building, which is our R&D facility.
Right.
That's where all the design engineers live. And those are the ones that are really brewing up the crazy new stuff. So we have, I think the last count is 400 engineers roughly. Engineers. So you have manufacturing engineers, you've got engineers that design some of the robot stuff that you'll see down there that's custom made through the engineers hey, we need some robot to make a striker assembly. Okay. So there'll be a robot just making a little sub-assembly rather than just one person doing it a million times a day. So just a lot of engineers. Something that Ron, our CEO, is really big on is all right, if you find me an engineer that's smart, knows his stuff, I'll find him a job. Nice. So we'll recruit people from there's a pretty decent defense industry kind of locally, but then we've got guys that came from General Electric or it doesn't really matter what the industry is, but a lot of the engineering stuff all falls in line. We have a lot of guys also from the automotive industry, so a lot of the best practices that you get from assembly and manufacturing, a lot of that stuff is kind of coming from automotive and aviation and stuff like that, just because a lot of those best practices, and they've been doing it for decades and stuff like that. So we get a lot of lessons learned from other industries as well, because I don't know if you guys have been to other factory tours. I've watched a lot of factory tours on YouTube, and some of them are very much hey, someone just filing a part down, and you won't be seeing people filing parts down to make it fit, because we want to make sure that the parts that we get are made. So when they're made in the machine, if they aren't exactly the way they want it, we chuck it in the bin. So that's kind of the little bit difference between making a part and making it to the design intent. Right. So it's kind of 21st century manufacturing is
one of the
what we try
that I liked here at SIG was you guys got that machine that has 40 whatever points of areas to check.
Yeah.
You put a pistol in there and the machine checks every single one of those things. So it just shows there's tolerances to that. Obviously, if there's anything wrong, then it just sends it back to the technician.
Yep.
I thought it was so freaking cool.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that before, and I'm sure that's an old technology. I mean, it's no brainer, but I've been to other, I'm not gonna give any names, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do manual checks, so Darren used to work in assembly, they'll have basically their master assembler that is in charge of the entire team. He'll be kind of checking to make sure with a regular function check, but they'll even put it into the machine, and that goes past a regular function check that you'll just be able to do by hand. So
pretty cool.
Yeah. So we'll take a peek over here. All right.
Observatory.
Let's push. I can't read. Wow.
Yeah, this is not it. There's so many places.
So what's interesting is that this is not even the largest facility for for one of our factories. Like we built this maybe like 7-8 years ago, and like pretty much immediately outgrew it. So this is the newer building. The current R&D facility that's in Exeter, kind of near the SEC. That is the old manufacturing floor. So like a brief history is that SIG arms in the United States, we used to import all of our stuff from Germany, and then kind of in the 90s or so, we kind of made a shift and we decided, hey, American manufacturing is, we were able to send stuff to the moon and all that stuff. So we decided that we were going to become the manufacturing powerhouse of SIG. So that actually kind of completely flipped, and now we're actually exporting stuff over to Europe. So it's kind of come full circle now. So, this is P's. This is the main headquarters. This is also where all the final assembly and the test running happens. You have Exeter that we talked about. This the kind of R&D facility has some manufacturing capability there as well as all of our prototyping happens there. Then we have Rochester. So Rochester is the building that's like basically double this size. If you just kind of want to think about it that way. It has we have the ability to make our magazines, making all sorts of larger components as well. As well as Arkansas, that's where we make all of our ammo. Oregon is where we have all of our optics manufactured. So really, the footprint in New Hampshire is pretty large. We've got other like warehouses and stuff like that that feed the assembly line. We just kind of like, it just continuously is growing based on the needs of the consumer, but also NGSW. So all of the MHS, so the M17, M18, as well as the XM7, XM250, that's taken up, as we've won those contracts, that's taken up a lot of both manpower as well as like physical constraints. So we've had to triple the size of our firing range. We've had to eat away at some of this floor space that used to be warehousing. That's now dedicated for the NGSW program. You'll kind of see that they're like caged off, and that's kind of part of the contract. They want to make sure that there's like no parts get mixed up between, hey, these are the military parts, and they're identical. They'll just basically have a different part number. It's the same part number, just the end of it says NGSW. But they just want to make sure that there's no cross-contamination, because as you guys know, we make commercial spears and military spears. Basically made the exact same way, it's just one bin is green and one bin is not green. So that's literally the difference, and one's for all. But
well, I know a great state. If you guys ever plan to expand, right? It's North Carolina. I'm just saying, there's a whole bunch of land. For cheap. So
and no snow.
That is correct.
Hey, the good thing about that though is you can do cold weather carbine classes in Exeter, which they are doing throughout the winter. So
there you go, your favorite.
We just got back from New Mexico doing that. Trust.
We had a great class.
3 foot of snow and a bunch of mud.
Night vision stuff.
So you'll see like there's some machines moving right now. Those are the CMM machines, coordinate measuring machines. So those are basically in 3-dimensional space. They have these little feeler probes, and they'll basically measure stuff down to like the thousandths of an inch. So that's basically we'll pull parts off and then measure them basically with all these critical dimensions, making sure that they're all perfectly made.
Yeah, I see the slide. Like going through the slide.
Yep.
So what do you guys do? You said a lot of your stuff, if it's not up to spec, you just chuck it. Are we throwing back into the manufacturing process, or?
So when you get a rejected part, it's very rare, and there's a whole process of which we're trying to establish why that was happening. So more often than not, like obviously when you're cutting into metal, you have tools that are cutting into metal. They obviously wear over time. We have periods that we'll make sure that we're replacing those tools before they get completely worn out. But every once in a while, like something will slip through the cracks. But we have a giant quality control department that goes through the entire process to make sure that trying to figure out exactly what happened and basically create a corrective action to make sure it doesn't happen again. So.
And I guess the leads out there it's been a question to ask them what their cycle times are for stuff and stuff.
So cycle times for the actual machines kind of vary. So the newer machines, obviously their cycle time's a lot faster for producing the same part. So, but we also, some of the older machines, we don't necessarily just get rid of them because they're actually helpful for some of our, I wouldn't say less popular, but the ones that we don't make as many of. So like we're cranking out 365 slides, 320 slides, but then 226 X5 Legion slides, we're not doing like 100,000 slides of those. So those ones will all right, we got the old machine, it still holds the same tolerances. They just don't make as many.
Yeah.
So we'll be like, okay, this older machine, we'll leave it for a part that we don't need as much of. So that's kind of where you see a lot more robotics,
Right.
and these more modern cells are designed to basically just allow us to crank out a whole bunch of the parts that we need the most
Gotcha.
of. So that's kind of where
Very cool.
it kind of, the answer is it depends.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome. Nice stuff, man. Really cool.
Yeah, so assemblies all over here, some of the machining area, and there's also like, what's kind of interesting is like all these tools, like in this yellow bin.
Yeah.
So a lot of times instead of us having to like order parts, because like oftentimes you don't want to have to like wait for Amazon Prime to like deliver to you, right? So we actually, these we haven't bought yet, and they're all sitting in there, and as soon as we need a new part, we scan it, and then it charges us immediately, which is
That's
kind of,
cool.
it's kind of an interesting process of like, it's just not paid for yet.
Right.
So
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
you know you're going to use it.
you know you're going to use it
Yeah.
at some point. So they're just, these are all the kind of, we look at all the stuff that we use most often.
Yeah.
So you basically just have them all sitting there, and then whenever you need it, you just kind of pay for it.
That's awesome.
It's kind of interesting.
Very
So
cool. Ooh, nice. Early slides, check it.
yeah, you see some, I see some sawtooths over there with the proof barrels. You know, those are
Yeah.
probably waiting for some stocks. I think they've been building stocks in this cell line the other day.
So this is all assembly over here.
Yep, all assembly.
That's just machining.
Yep.
You pass it on.
Yeah, a lot of times the machining, they'll go out for like anodize or Cerakote. We have those in separate facilities.
I was just about to ask, do you guys do that in-house?
So we don't do anodizing, but we do the Cerakote.
Okay.
Anodizing is pretty toxic, so we kind of leave that for certain companies
Yeah.
that
Makes
want to
sense.
deal with some of that
Makes
stuff.
sense.
It's just a lot of chemicals and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So we outsource those to like industry partners that we have locally. So
Very nice.
Wow. And other coating, like do you guys do any, I guess for suppressors, like PVD coating?
for our rifle suppressors, we do the high temp Cerakote in-house, and then for some of our like the Mod X9 titanium suppressors, those are DLC coated.
Okay.
So we have a company that does DLC coating.
Okay, awesome. That's awesome. And what, let's say I have an RMA.
Yep.
Where is that coming? Is that coming here?
So no, that is actually going to be over in Exeter. So
Okay.
we have the custom shop, then and a lot of the kind of customer service stuff comes over there, and there's a whole team that deals with that.
Awesome.
Yep.
Wow,
So, yeah.
so it really is separation of church and state, allows everybody to focus in on what they're doing.
Yeah, the big thing is like you don't really want to interrupt the assembly line because
Right.
they're just cranking out new guns, and also you'll see that part of the reason why you guys went through security is there's no live ammunition here. And if you had customer guns through,
Yeah.
they oftentimes are not
Oh, I
very
forgot something's in the
diligent
chamber.
on
Oops.
making sure that there aren't live rounds in. So if you are sending something back to us, please verify that there are no live rounds in the firearms, and our repair guys will thank you.
You never know. You could go through TSA with a fully loaded MP7 mag from Colorado, and then
With a
have
knife.
flight here, and then
With a 6-inch blade next
accidentally
to it.
get looked at. I'm just saying. Whoops.
Now, whoops, you went right through it.
Yeah, that happened to me.
It sounded like it, yeah.
He just, we're walking at the airport, he's like, I have a knife on me right now. I'm like,
I
what?
forgot I was in there.
Yeah.
But the scarier part was the MP7 mag totally made it from Colorado
Yeah.
back to Charlotte. Like
It's
my bad.
alarming how much stuff goes on a daily basis.
Whoops.
But then somehow the lines are always crazy long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta
Somehow the
love that.
machine just
Gotta love that pre-check.
alarmed. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go down there and
Okay.
we'll go take a closer look at the assembly floor. But just to give you a basic breakdown, in the last 10 minutes Chris is talking, I've actually been looking at the layout of the assembly floor because we constantly change.
Okay.
We come back 2 months from now, if you would, it would be different. A lot of these are constantly adjusting. We're constantly trying to improve efficiency and build rate and whatnot.
Right. That's
Right.
obviously.
In addition to that, it gets our builders a lot more cross-trained, right? Because you can get really good at putting 2 or 3 parts in, but then be not so good at something else. Whereas if you're in a chase cell, you're constantly doing every single part of the gun. It also doesn't get mundane because throughout the day you're just
Right.
constantly rotating. You're building the entire gun.
It is more eyes on all of the products rather than just, I've just got the striker assembly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Pretty cool.
So it definitely improves that. But you mentioned the striker assembly.
Right.
We used to have one person just piecing together a striker assembly. They would do 800 striker assemblies in a day.
Right.
Whereas now we've automated a lot of that. The 365 striker assemblies, they're completely automated now, which is pretty amazing. We have rifle sub-assembly here. This is the cross assembly line here. We still have on the rifle side, the chase method I don't believe works really well. We experimented with it for about 6 months or so, and then we went back to the power line. I think the rifles, it still benefits from that 8-person, 10-person team, and then 1 or 2 people putting the upper and lower together. But definitely, we're still experimenting with it every single day to try and make it more efficient. If you see that caged off area, that is actually where we do the NGSW. So this is where we build all the XM7s and the XM250s. Wow. We'll go down there and hopefully we'll see them working on the complete gun, but we very well may just see them building sub-assemblies because the belt feds are incredibly complicated. Just to put it into perspective for you, I don't know if we'll be able to get a chance to look at the belt feds, but like just
they'll have them at the SEC.
Just the trigger pack. Just the trigger pack. That's basically the trigger and the safety and the firing mechanism. It's more parts than an entire 365. Wow, so it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So a lot of it is sub-assembly, then it's pieced together to make it more efficient. So hopefully we'll see that. You see, we still build 1911s, we still build the 226s. That's done here as well, all the way against that, where you see the boxes are, that's the first line. And then a bunch of chase cells for 322s, 320s, 365s. We still have 1 power line left, and then again, basically the rest are just chase cells. We also massively expanded our firing range as well to accommodate for the testing of the additional military guns as well as the expanded commercial builds that we do as well. That's just basically, you'd say double the size, triple the size of the firing range.
From not like last time, it was still the same firing range, right? 4 months ago or something like that.
It was still under construction.
I think it was under construction then, so I think it's finished now.
I look forward to seeing that.
Now we're still in the 1911 game. Will there ever be a double stack? Yep, I already got my answer.
20 minutes ago.
Yep. Never say never.
Can't confirm or deny anything.
How did I know that?
No shotguns though.
I talked to him.
No shotguns.
Never say never.
This is pretty awesome, man. This facility is,
Get that New York
as you can see, it's pretty state of the art, and there's a lot of different processes in here. First of all, amazing, like that white one that I said when they, watch you live and in color and guide
Wait till
you
you
in.
see it.
I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. This is awesome.
So you guys have probably seen like machines that load ammunition.
Right.
You're sorting like the primers and the casings and the projectiles, right?
Right.
It's kind of the same idea, right? You have your striker assemblies, you have your striker cups on the other side, and it basically just sorts it into the right orientation and then builds it inside the machine. It's not running at the moment, but that just goes to show you how efficient it is. We can build so many that we don't have to have it continuously running. We can just build thousands.
And dispatch it.
And just,
Awesome. Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, all of this was designed by an engineer in-house, so like we didn't outsource it. Like right here, it's pretty cool. Having to see that robot arm come down, feed it.
The mics have to be so
Oh yeah,
close,
no worries.
so
Yeah, so you can, as you guys can see right now, you can see it's feeding in these raw, essentially blank just billets of steel, loading into the machine. And these basically replaces having a person having to manually go in.
Right.
This robot, as soon as it's done with the work, it'll grab the near finished slides and basically put it on a different pallet. So
And this one just moves from machine to machine?
Yep,
or-
yep.
okay.
So it's doing all this 3 bay right here. You have separate ones feeding these 2 right here. So that's what this guy's doing.
Okay.
And you're just kind of feeding in these giant blank pieces of steel, and then you spit out basically like a slide like right over there.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
As you can see, we're actually on the assembly floor, right? Some great stuff going on. We're actually going to take a look at the NGSW program. But because it's so secretive and it's actually constant in use right now, can't really show you guys stuff. There's a lot of proprietary stuff that the minds can't know. But
You guys can guess, but you'll be wrong. So
100%. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, we're going to take a moment to interrupt this content to bring you a word from the sponsor of this video, Sonoran Desert Institute. Now, of everyone at Classic, I've probably built the most guns myself, and I know a lot of you guys out there like to work on and repair your guns at home as well. If you're looking for a way to take that hobby to the next level, Sonoran Desert Institute could help. The online courses at SDI cover a broad range of topics, including armor certification, gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking and gun finishes, sports shooting management, and more. They even send tools and materials directly to your home so you can get hands-on training while you're covering this coursework. So if you're looking for a way to get an education that you could actually apply to your job or start a new career, definitely contact SDI at 480-999-4767 or visit sdi.edu.
All right, so
right,
going into the NGSW cage. A lot of cool stuff in there, man.
I was there before, 4 months ago. SIG next event. I'm sorry. This is my second time.
It's all good.
I feel so special right now.
You do. You could school me. There's a lot of sub-assembly going on in there. So you're talking about small pneumatic parts, them actually putting stuff together, and then completing the whole firearm for their military contract.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome, for real. A lot of cool stuff going on there. That light technology.
Yeah, the light technology. Guys, as I said, last time I think we talked about it, I don't know if we talked about it on camera, there's a system that basically watches you. And you
see it on the P365. Yeah.
That's right, we will. There's one more, yeah. And you guys will see what we're talking about. It is so cool, man. It just basically guides you, like a grandma, holds your hand, and you go to the next level, you finish it, and then it probably presents you a cookie at the end with a milk.
Probably so.
Yeah. It's so cool. In all seriousness, it is a system that guides you so you do the things or assembly the right way. So pretty cool. You guys see.
And what SIG has done here in their manufacturing is like bar none. They've got some really cool technology, man, and they're really putting it to use for, the defense industry. So that's awesome.
SIG is a giant manufacturer company. It's insane. Like guys are telling me over there, they're making they're capable of making just not very little area, hundreds of machine guns, like a big ass XM250s a day. Yeah. If they wanted to, boom, boom, boom. Like that's how capable these guys are. It's no brainer, man. It's SIG SAUER. I look forward to seeing some more.
Let's do it. Let's move.
Again.
Let's move right along. All right. I'm following.
There you go. Yeah. What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
Jack.
Jason, nice to meet you.
Hi, Jack Gilman. Yeah, so I'm the manager of the assembly floor. So if you guys want a quick tour, I can give you. We're just walking around.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to show us.
Yeah. Point us in the direction, brother.
I'll show you the madness.
All right.
All right. Let's go. Let's go. So I don't know how much the boys have given you already. Has it been a lot or not really?
It's been a lot.
Okay. And it's your first time here, right?
Mine. He's been
I was
here.
at the next event.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's why we're kind of letting him
all right.
explore.
All right. So assembly is crazy, right? I've been here for almost 12 years now, and I've always been in assembly. So this is kind of my world. In order to meet demand, ongoing demand for all of our different customers, because 320s as a whole, we make probably, it's like a million different, forms of 320 that we make for all of our different customers, and they all want it right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So these ones are all final built.
First of all, for LMG, for me to be able to hold this one-handed, we're talking, what, 8 pounds, if that? Ingenuity and necessity is the mother of all inventions. But look at this, man.
Yeah, a lot different than the old ones. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Wow. Yep.
And this one is your 308 bearing, you said, right?
Yep.
Okay. So there you go, folks. Different flavors for different countries. So ask your local, representative what you want. That's awesome.
I'll show you, we got different types of assembly lines, right?
Okay.
So these are the small setups over here, and then we have 365 over here. So 365 is still our largest, most popular gun right now.
Yeah.
And so we developed this larger line here for maximum volume. So it's a little different. So around 13 employees, so we run them all at once.
So if you're in the New Hampshire area and you're looking for something to do, I'm pretty sure you can find something for you.
I try to make it one of the coolest jobs you could ever have.
I see that.
Yeah. So these guys are working together. Everyone works together as a team. These guys are finaling. she's going to be doing all the hang tags. So if you had to do put on all of these firearm hang tags,
Right.
all right, for ATF purposes, you got to match the serial number to the hang tag. But if you had to read 900 of those in a day, you're going to go cross-eyed, you're going to have a headache. So we have this camera system that we developed in-house. So now it magnifies the image, and then you verify the image instead, and so it's a little easier on your eyes.
Wow.
And so as soon as she verifies that it's good, she's going to hit the green button, it's going to go, and then it's going to move the gun systematically into the ring.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we started at 6 o'clock this morning. We're already at 318 guns today off this one line.
We're going to have to stop back by here after we get done to see what the final count is after we leave. Because I would like to know. That's just me. That's awesome. Wow.
So we have those the same small cells here for 365.
Okay.
So again, that same idea of all these different types of firearms for different people, we're making them in different cells in a smaller quantity. So over here, Sonia's training some of our folks. So Sonia, hey Sonia.
Morning.
Yeah,
How are
so
you?
Sonia's running this cell, and she's going to be training all of our new employees. Sonia, you've been here for 9 years?
Yes.
Yeah, and so she's in charge of our pistol training.
Okay.
Yep.
I do have to ask.
Yes.
So, what's the coolest thing that you've seen?
I can't really say because I've got to handle rifles, I've got to handle pistols, I've done a little bit of everything.
Okay.
In 9 years, so to me, all of it's cool. You know, it's actually a place where you can actually enjoy your job, love your job,
I see that.
and you can have a career. If you choose to do this, anybody can do it. It's just you just got to work hard. That's all.
We're going to follow this mantra for like life. So, I love it. Top tier. Expert advice. Thank you so much.
So we're utilizing the auto gauge here. So this is designed in-house. So when you're building firearms, your final function test, right, is you're going to run that firearm, you're going to verify that this firearm does everything it's supposed to and has everything in it that it's supposed to have, right? But if you do that a lot, your hands are going to hurt, right? You're going to have bad elbows, bad wrists. And so what we developed is this system here where we just insert a firearm in here, and this does everything for us. And so, one, you get a little bit better accuracy, especially if you're tired or whatever, or you're running a lot of guns. You just insert the firearm, you select which one you're going to do based on the scanner here. You scan it in, and then it'll do it. It'll run all your checks. It runs about a minute long, and it does every single safety check that we require. And then if it's green, it spits it out, you're good to go. And if it finds a failure, it'll tag it and tell you where the failure is so you can go and diagnose what's going on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. I love this. There's like so many amplitudes of like checks and double checks and quadruple checking. Yeah. And so let's say there is one that actually has like a slight issue.
Yep.
Where is that going?
Yeah, so it'll pop it out, it'll tell you where to start looking, and then Sonia will either repair it on site or she'll give it to her lead or
It will come up and it will show red. It will say failed.
Okay.
If you go in here and you say you're having a trigger reset issue, you turn around and you open it, and a lot of times it's your trigger to your trigger bar.
Okay.
It's either not sitting in the slot or it's not located into the hole, which is located on your trigger bar.
Right.
So it will cause it to alarm out, and then you turn around, you take it back, you fix it, put it back in the machine and rerun it.
That's awesome.
Yep. And because we don't always agree with robots, right? We want to make sure they're doing the right things. Every 384 parts is going to ask for one of our master parts, which is a firearm with a pre-programmed failure. Just to double check that we're still catching every failure that we want to catch.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's all that.
So there's 191, 192 it goes to, and then it will tell you to do your master parts. You have 4 different ones. You have 1 through 4. Each one are missing multiple things, and it has it highlighted. It will show you, and it will tell you if it's in there or if it's not.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you can't move on until you run it. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So fail safe.
Okay.
Yep. 322.
Oh, those are cool.
So these are our comp 322s, because why do you need a comp on a 322? Because you can, right? So this is gas pedal, it's got a charging handle on it, it's got an extended mag catch on it. It's just fun.
That is
right?
awesome. Yeah,
it's fun.
Is.
If you're gonna do it, why not? You know, if you're gonna have a
Right.
little plinker or like a fun gun, I mean, you can't get much better than that.
We got one. We did. we love it. It's literally that good.
Yeah, and a double stack mag. I mean, it's.
You can't beat it.
Right? Yeah, we're building Rose.
Well, great question. Yeah.
We're building Rose guns, everything from Rose to 365 Qs, 322s. We got everything going on at once.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Lena, we love it. Just saying, it looks awesome.
right, Janie's running our sight press. Hey,
Okay.
Janie. This is one of our larger sight presses, okay? And so common practice for any firearms industry, a lot of it is dovetail sights. So your sights are canted and you're forcing the sight into a dovetail, a tight system. And you're relying on force to hold that sight in. In the industry, sometimes your sights fall off. That's not good. You don't want that. So how do we fix it? So we developed this giant machine, right?
Right.
And so we're going to put all of our sights on our slides for all of these cells throughout the day. It's going to run fast. It's going to have a robot that grabs the sight, pushes it on. That robot also has force sensors in each of the sight pushers. So it can measure how much force it takes to put the sight on. If it's too much, it'll stop before it cracks the slide in half. If it's too little, it'll stop and kick it out and be like, hey, we got a problem. This sight's not fitting right. And so you can attack it and start looking at it.
That's awesome.
All right, so that way we guarantee that our sights are measured and they're perfectly put on.
Right.
And then we know that they're not going to fall off. The other thing it does, it's got 2 lasers in there. And it's going to guide that sight on and laser it 0 to the slide, not just individually.
Okay, so yeah, when you're coming through here, it's already done, it's zeroed, you're ready
So
to
when
go.
I go to the range, and because we target a certain sample, right? And now I don't have that stoppage all the time of, oh wait, we're shooting off and something ain't right. 9 times out of 10, this is shooting perfect the first time.
Okay, so question for you, each one of these gets fired?
Yes, we use more ammo than anyone else in the world.
Okay.
So when you get to the range portion, they'll go through that. But I can tell you right now, every gun gets fired, and we target a certain sample and all that. So we do it all.
Well, there you go, folks. Everyone gets tested.
Oh yeah.
Kid tested, mother approved.
Yeah, I think we're over 1 million rounds a month, but Shane will give you that number. So all of our sights come in from Arkansas, and so they load the machine here.
Okay.
And so as we make our sights in Arkansas, so these giant levers pull out,
right?
And they have pucks with all of our sights in them, and then the robot uses those pucks and pulls them out.
All right, and this is only for the 365
No,
line?
this is 365, 320. We can do our classic. We can do SIG Pro on
The
here. You name it.
1911s.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we don't use manual pushers anymore. We're using all automated.
That's awesome.
Yep. So these are all suction cups.
Okay.
And so your pucks would sit right in there.
And it's okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And then you just slide.
That's really awesome.
Pushing it. All right. And then behind us is our NGSW cage.
Right.
You having fun yet?
Brother, I am.
Candy store?
I'm like, where else? Yeah. Wow.
awesome.
This is awesome.
Yep. So this is our U.S. Army contract cage. So we're doing all of our MHS runoff guns, and then we're also doing XM250s and XM7s in here.
So obviously, this you can't see this. This is hush hush. So as you can see, I'm doing a great job not showing you the cage, but hey, it is what it is, man. This is awesome. This is awesome. Oh, move it.
And then we got metal guns over here. So any of our classic fans, 226, 229, 1911, 210s are all built down this line right now. So we have 1911s that we're running. They're at break right now.
Okay.
But again, if you're a classic fan like I am, just the old school, we're doing all of our 1911s through this line over here.
I heard there might be a double stack 1911s sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm not at liberty to say that, that's for sure.
I love this. I can't deny nor tell.
Yeah. So all my employees, these are everybody right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got a build plan up the top and what I would need to do to achieve that build plan.
Oh, wow.
And then I have all of my employees here. Everyone gets a name tag. And so like if I was on 1911, which I was just at, that's right here.
Okay.
All right. So this is a mirrored of the floor. So my employees come in at 6 a.m. They don't want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to anybody.
Right.
I don't want to talk to them either. So they can see where they're at. They don't have to talk to nobody. They can just see where am I working today? And it allows me to be more dynamic on the floor and figure out what do I need to build, what can you build, right? Because if you can build multiple firearms, that's better, right? So I pay people more money for that. So now I can build anything.
I think you're forgetting something. Sorry, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
And then Kaya can be done. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want to get fired.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, and so green is first shift, blue is second shift. So
What shift do you want?
I'll take anything at 6 hours. That's the politically right answer, is it not?
right.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're coming up to a very important set. I feel like we're sort of kind of near QC.
Yes, yeah. So we got QC over here. We have quality control employees. These guys are all helping us out all the time, making
Okay.
sure that we're doing the right thing. We have the right material.
Right.
And then in here is our incoming inspection. So if we're purchasing parts from outside vendors, they're going through there, they're doing source inspection, they're making sure it's to print.
But here's what I've noticed. You guys are doing double, triple, and quadruple QC on just the assembly floor, and then we bring it over to this side, where they're really specialized in this area. So, I mean, you can't say that it wasn't looked at.
Right, exactly. But again, we want to make sure that we're doing it right the first time.
Right.
So that's our first time through rate is really important to us.
Gotcha.
And then over here's the range. You guys are going to go in there next.
Oh.
So they're actually, I don't know if they explained it to you, but this big area right here is the range.
Okay.
And they're shooting towards us this way.
You'll hear like a
Yeah.
mag
Oh.
Yeah.
So
It was really weird at the beginning.
they're shooting at you.
So they're waterfall traps, and they're steel traps, so they run into a stale waterfall trap. And they're mostly function lanes on this side. 7 and 8 are full auto, and then the rest are function. And so that way they're just dumping rounds into a tube, and they don't have to look at what they're shooting at. They're shooting into a hole. So they can pay attention to ejection.
Okay.
They can pay attention to function. And then we have a targeting lanes on the other side. So. And then we gotta recycle, right?
Yeah.
So we recycle all of our spent lead through here. So again, there's a trough, there's a water trough, and it pushes all of those, all that spent lead is out right there. So.
You guys have every avenue covered. I am beyond amazed.
It took us a long time to get there, but where are you at?
Property of the U.S. government. You got to know. Just saying.
We got, this is the range entrance right here.
Okay.
Are you range certified?
Me? I yes to it. Not for y'all.
Yeah.
Not y'all, but yes.
All right, in order to get here, you got to be range certified. We joke around, this is the safest place in the whole
I believe
whole
it.
state.
I believe it.
Yesterday. Yeah, dude, I know I got it. So, in order to be range certified, you got to get lead tested, you got to hear and test it every year.
Yep.
Just to make sure that we're all good.
Okay.
And then Shane's in here, he's in charge of the range and pack. Hi, Shane.
The control room. Look at this. I hear you, brother. How you doing, man? Jason.
Shane.
Nice to meet you, bro. Absolutely.
Come on up.
Oh, wow.
Check it out.
Woo. As you can see, this is not a talk. This is actually the range control center. So Shane is the man. He's going to walk us through all of this jazz, man. You've got so many monitors here. I see so much happening. And believe it or not, it's so quiet in here. I just want to let everybody know that. It sounds great in here.
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Absolutely.
So tell us about it, brother.
Yeah, so what we're doing here is every firearm that we build, we'll test fire. Very secure. The only place where the guns and ammo come together is right out here on the firing line.
Okay.
Over on the left-hand side of our function lanes, we'll function our firearms over there. We'll do our cyclic rate of fire for the autos. And we also do our proofing for the barrels and the bolts over there.
Okay.
Out in front of us are our target lanes. Every target lane has a computer in it, but it also has a camera in it. So every target that we shoot will actually take a picture of that image and save it with a serial number.
Oh, wow.
Upstairs, we have a 100-meter tube. You can see Silas is up there shooting a contract for us right now.
Okay.
So we have a sled up there that our engineers designed. That's kind of like a lead sled, but it's pneumatic, so it plugs into an airline. You can shoot rifles all day. Doesn't hurt your shoulder at all.
Okay.
At the other end of the building, in between the trap and the tube that we're shooting through, there's actually a roll of targets. So Silas will hit a button, fresh target goes up in front of the pipe, he'll shoot his group, take a picture of that image, save it with a serial number.
Awesome. How are you guys handling like the environmental status of it and make sure like keeping lead levels low for guys?
Absolutely. So it's a negative pressure range. Okay. We have a 3-filter scrubber system.
Okay.
Pre's, mids, and HEPAs. So the air that these guys are breathing is cleaner than the air outside, and the air that we're exposing is cleaner than the air outside also.
So there you go. Does any of the suppressors actually get fired on this range as well?
Every single suppressor will get fired on this range.
So there you guys go.
Absolutely.
You not only are you practicing what you preach with the low blowback technology, but you're actually employing that in the manufacturing and the testing phase.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, in this range we'll average anywhere from about 1 million to 1.5 million rounds a month.
More than my entire budget for my life, so it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So when there's an ammo shortage, usually it's our fault.
Well, here's the greatest thing: you guys make your own ammo. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, we had to. We had to. Yeah.
Problem solved there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's so awesome. Wow.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing here. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's everybody has a good time, and
I see that.
all about the quality and a lot of pride here.
That's awesome, man. Everybody, it's just a pride thing here, man.
Absolutely,
I dig that.
absolutely.
I dig that.
mag loading machines upstairs
Oh, machines are loading mags.
Yeah.
They literally
What?
just put
Yep.
magnets, just like
That's
Yeah, so I have one that'll load a 5.56 30-round GI mag every 9 seconds. Spits it out. I have one that's loading our the next gen ammo, the 6.8. That'll do a 20-round mag in about 10 seconds. And I have one that'll load any 9mm mag that we have out here. So 365, 320, 229, any of them. It's got like little robot hands that flip the rounds around and
I just want to grab a roll of like painter's tape and put John's name on it. So this is this is for John.
right. Yeah. It's very nice to have.
That's awesome, man. Wow.
So, do all guns get fired here? Every single.
firearm. Yep.
So they have
every
that.
single suppressor.
So a typical handgun, let's say 365 or 320, gets your hand over here. Is it like 1 round or a mag? What is it?
5 rounds.
5 rounds each. Very nice, very nice. And what I love about this, and last time I was out here, I was chatting with you about the lead exposure or the lead poisoning stuff, and you guys are firing 1 million rounds, you said, a month or something like that, and you guys are able to keep that down. It's incredible, because that's a serious concern,
Yeah, you were
especially
just saying
indoor.
they got like 3 different scrubber systems in here.
Yeah, that's the first question I asked, because me and my buddy James Reeves, we were actually talking about the whole lead exposure thing. I think he was like all the way up to 170, he said, which is, you're pushing it, right?
Oh yeah, that's like, you're going to the hospital at that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and he doesn't shoot anything near. Obviously, you guys do, and you guys are able to keep that much lower.
We're 6, 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
17.
James?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
17.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
170.
okay.
17. is what I
17.
meant,
That
yes.
yeah, that sounds better.
He's dead, my guy.
At 17,
That
at 17, we would pull you out of the range and try and figure out what is going on. But
What's you guys' policy like? Up to 15? What is it?
no, 17 will pull you from the range and see what's going on.
Wow.
OSHA, I believe, is 21. Where they want.
Yeah, there
Yep.
you go. OSHA was
Yep.
21. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
at
but
1.
we're before that. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm probably at 170 right now myself. Yeah.
Walking lead corpse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's awesome. All right. Woo.
So,
Brother, I appreciate it. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. Thanks,
Absolutely.
man. This is
Yeah.
cool. This is so
Yeah,
cool.
this is definitely the cool place.
I hope everyone in there is a marksman at this point. I mean, I'm just saying, all right, right? Like I would only assume so. Just not dumping for fun. But
Yeah, that's Ryan.
so good. You just put the chamber flag on and then put the other flag on.
oh, so it's giving him it's taking a picture, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what he's doing is taking a picture, saving it with a serial number. The serial number is on that tag that he scanned.
Right. Okay. Wow. So it's like really the ID or the fingerprint for it is all from start to finish, and just like how you said, if there's a problem, we're going to exactly who did it, who built it, and their badge. I'm not saying that mine might not have a function problem, but I'm pretty sure it'd make it. I'm just saying.
So any recommendations on hearing protection? Like not necessarily a brand. I'm talking about the like style.
We run double out here. We run the foamies and we run the over muffs, just because it is so loud out there. It sounds nice and quiet in here, but when you open a door, it's very loud out there. So yeah, we double up. We always double up.
Especially with the machine guns going off.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Very good. So,
Can't risk that tinnitus.
No, definitely don't want that.
How many folks are veterans in here?
Quite a few.
Okay.
There's a vast majority of veterans, police officers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. What was it? How many like
I think
veterans?
it's
Or,
LE and Mill is about a third of the company.
that's awesome.
are they on the like factory floor or like shooting?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, everywhere.
That's awesome.
My lead truck is a Marine. Yep.
Nice.
Very nice.
All right, brother. We appreciate it, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys stopped in.
Thank you.
Cops here, some donuts over there.
My Navy SEAL actually brought those in. Yeah, Roger.
Roger?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
All right, Shane, Chuck said we could go up into the new tube and just check it out.
We can go up in the new tube and check it out. Absolutely. Let's go.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll go upstairs.
I'll meet you guys up there.
All right, sounds good. So this range expansion was mostly for NGSW purposes.
Oh, okay, okay.
So what we found is that we had to come up with a new way to handle that round at the end of the trap.
Okay.
Because the D-cell chambers normally last around 6 years. They lasted with the new round. They lasted about 3 weeks. Yeah.
I was told, like, we were out here, you guys had you guys were building this thing.
Yeah.
And with the NGSW, obviously, what was that, 6.8?
Yeah.
That thing just tore everything apart.
Yeah, we had to rethink.
Yeah, we were right here.
We had to rethink on how we were going to do everything.
Okay.
No, you can say it's a little different.
It's a little different this time for sure, because the floors are different. One of the walls were here.
Yeah.
And you guys are shooting over there, which like took 3 weeks, and you guys were done. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Shane's pride and joy. It's ongoing, so we're still working on it, but it's a lot different than it used to be.
Okay, so these are the 6.8 variants, correct?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically.
Wow.
So these are shipping out this month. So these are the XM7s for this month.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I was just explaining that D-cell chamber issue that we had.
Oh boy.
So,
Yeah, it chewed up the D-cell chambers fast. Wow. On the sand we want.
Yeah.
Sand works great.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are screaming, man. Because we were at the SIG Academy, we were shooting them, and they were through, I don't know, 14-inch, 16-inch barrel, 100 feet per second.
Yeah.
Compared to like 308, like 2,600 feet per second, 25, something like that, yeah.
Yep. So that we couldn't use our old tube, so we had to design new ones, and that's what the room we're in right now.
That's awesome.
Yep. So you guys.
So this one, that one's locked out right now. We're working on it, but this is one that we're getting ready to
fire up. Okay.
So what this fixture does is this is for the LMG, so
Right.
the XM250. It'll lock down in the optic mounts. Camera looks down it, and you can aim it looking right through here.
Wow.
And then as soon as you get it where you want, you hit the button, it trigger locks, fires the rifle.
And these are made in-house with your engineers.
Our mad scientist, Jonathan Berg.
That's awesome.
And Shane, they
Jonathan
work
Berg
together,
and I have a nightmare and John built it for me.
That's so
and
awesome.
then the chamber in the front, that's like a suppression chamber, right?
That is a suppression chamber.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that's where we'll put our airless system because we test the velocity on every single round that we shoot. So the airless system will go in there, we'll shoot through it, down to 100 meters to the target.
That's awesome. Now, do you guys do any endurance testing in here? When I say endurance testing, we're talking about freezing. I'm talking about extreme heat.
Most of that gets done over in Epping.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, R&D and test and evaluation does most of that.
Wow. Love it. So there's going to be no live fire right now?
Not up here, not right now.
Okay.
Nope. No, I have some IT guys down there working. Yeah, some IT guys down there. Yeah. Incoming.
That's so awesome, man.
Just casually.
Yep, just laying there.
Casual development. Casual development.
Peacefully. Just, not harming anyone.
All you got to do is just sign some paperwork, bro.
Wake it up, Just resting.
Shh. That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Whew.
You know what? They didn't even weigh on it.
No, they're
No,
8 pounds?
Yeah, they're nice.
Seriously,
They're very
this
nice.
is very, very light. This is, the M249s that we have? Lighter.
That's a whole. That's.
I'm saying, like, lighter.
I wonder how they won the contract. Also.
And I understand, okay.
Enough people were complaining,
Jeez, imagine that, right? Who loves carrying a nutsack around? I don't. Wow.
You missed out.
What?
We fire these things at full auto. Maybe he didn't miss out. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know the itinerary.
I don't know what the itinerary
I don't know either, but the 338, I mean, they got the 6.8, that's cool. 338 full auto. Better brace for impact, buddy. All I'm going to tell you is brace for impact.
As you can see, I'm built for it. I'm just saying. I've got enough mass to me that I can.
Aaron was here. He said the same thing. He said the same thing. It didn't work out for him.
Look into my eyes. I'm ready.
Look into my eyes.
Guys, this is awesome. Shane, thank you so much, brother.
You bet.
Absolutely.
Are we done with Shane then?
I think we are, unless you want to show me anything else, Shane. You guys want?
It's great seeing you again. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Brother, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
bet.
much. Oh, part of the million rounds. Jesus.
Yeah, I have around 5 to 6 million rounds on it.
They're like, what?
Jeez.
There's a shortage.
Yeah.
Oh, so you guys are actually using other manufacturers' ammo too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For like specific contracts, so like some law enforcement agencies, like we use this specific ammo, they'll shoot
Okay. So wow.
Yeah, so if someone's running gold dot, I'm running gold dot. Okay. That way, when the end user gets it, it's doing exactly what we want it to do.
That's awesome. And have you guys noticed any, like, I guess, variances between, like, your ammo versus, let's say, your competitors, and like how, especially with the guys running these cameras, or noticing ejection pattern differences or pressure chamber differences or anything like that?
Oh yeah, our ammo's way better.
And we get the chance to work hand in hand with our ammo department. So like anything that Shane sees, he can call up. We got friends down in Arkansas. He's been there a couple times.
So just nothing but continuous improvement.
Yeah, we work together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been down to Arkansas a few times. Yeah, those guys are great. They do a wonderful job. And that's what I mean. That's what I hunt with. I hunt with the SIG ammo. Shot a nice 8-pointer with it this year. So.
Oh, sorry, sir. You got to dust off your shoulders.
Yep. No, it's great ammo. It is. It's great ammo.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Everything in-house, man. Not only just from their many vast different weapons platforms, but hey, their ammo's superior. And I'm just letting you know. I heard from a great source, right? Like,
absolutely.
There you go. Wow. Guys.
He's got the receipts to prove it. Right? It's like, oh, who shoots more than I do?
Yeah. I believe it. Holy shit. Look at the cards. That was a bit.
100 meter tube.
Yep.
That's, yeah, shoot.
Oh, okay. I'm like, that's
unsuppressed, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you get used to that. So I used to build 1911s, and I was building 1911s with that thing ringing off the top of over my head.
So this is shipping and receiving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so nothing crazy going on right now.
Okay.
But this is where everything goes in and out. Now again, our finished goods, most of our finished goods are held off site. So because we're constantly growing and moving, so we're kind of shuffling things around quite a bit now.
Okay.
Yeah, so over here we have a couple of different areas. So we're going to walk through the parts packing. This is parts packing. Kathy over there, these guys are packaging up all the small components. Anything that's shipping out with NGSW that ships with the firearms, whether it's magazines, bipods, MHS mags, all that stuff. Okay. Kathy's team does that. They're right around. Kathy, how many are you doing a month? Like about 70,000 or more?
About that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So again, hardworking folks, and they do a great job.
Thank you so much.
All right, so, and you guys can notice our packing lines over here.
Yep.
They're working in a horseshoe. What's up, Ryan? So they're working in a horseshoe, kind of like how we do out there in some of my chase cells, right? So they're adaptable. They can change out what they're packing and when they're packing it, and how big the team is.
Okay.
So we're going to run over Nicole.
Yeah, all right.
All right, we're going to take a right here.
Okay.
This is where some of the other men are at.
Okay.
All right, so this area is everything that's been shot and through the range. This is all final inspection.
Okay.
So all these folks are the best of the best. They're all, a lot of them came from my area, but you know.
Okay. Shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug. But these guys are doing that final function check. They're looking at it one more time before it gets packed and shipped out after it goes through the range.
Right.
So again, that triple checks you guys were talking about, that's what these guys are doing. And you can notice this is where all the cool stuff is. So there's stuff everywhere. There's all these different types of firearms. A lot of these firearms I built today or yesterday, and that's it.
Oh, wow.
So our turnaround time from when I build it to when it ships is around 24 hours. So, and that's where world contracts, NGSW, commercial, LE, it's all done here.
All right. I saw some MPXK barrels there.
Oh yeah. Replacement barrels. We shoot those. We test them here.
Okay.
For our agencies and that sort of thing.
Okay.
We got what else we got? We got some MCX uppers, all different types of variants.
Oh.
Whether it's parts kits, you know, you name it, we have it. So FDE, we got black, we got ones with sights.
So the black ones, which you don't really see too often.
Right. So a lot of we came out with LT, the LT color is that coyote, which we like. A lot of other agencies, depending on them, they like the old school, and I'm not going to say I'm partial to either because I like both, but we do both, but mostly for the LE.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, look at that! You could just
Yep.
Oh wait, whoa, wait a second.
Yep.
All right, hold on. Let me take a deep breath here. We've been asking about this one for a while.
Oh, you're gonna ask me a rough.
No. So this, for all intents and purposes, is the new cane brake. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So you can see this one's suppressor ready. It's going to have the longer handguard, shorter barrel, and this one's going to be coming with some sights. And this has got the upgraded the bigger charging handle. This is kind of a nice little setup.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So I love this.
Cane brakes are the way to go, man.
It is.
They really are.
And now you guys have simplified it. It's no longer two different upper receivers that I try to match together. And that to me, it's been so awesome in the thing. So yeah, if folks, it's here.
Yeah.
They make it.
We got these over here too.
Oh!
If you guys haven't seen these Flux Raiders. And so these are a lot of fun. So we teamed up with Flux. We've been working with them quite a bit.
So you guys have actually partnered with them wholeheartedly. So like you guys are taking on the manufacturing front load for them when it comes to.
They build the chassis for us,
right?
And we receive it from them, and then we build it into a firearm.
Oh,
the biggest thing that represents our partnership with Flux is our capability to increase their capacity.
Okay.
Because before, obviously, they'll build maybe 1,000 or something like that, and they'll drop it on Instagram in an hour, and they'll be gone. Right. So it's incredibly difficult to get your hands on them.
Right.
Whereas now we're building, I believe, 500 a month, and that's purely because we've partnered with them and we've increased their capability to manufacture more. Because plastic grips is kind of our specialty.
Right.
We know a lot about it, and we know how to increase productivity, increase efficiency. So that's kind of that's really the most exciting thing. Obviously, the Flux grip, we didn't change anything to it. We obviously did some engravings, made it Legion-esque.
Right.
But really, this is their innovation. We really just help them increase their capacity, which honestly is what everyone wants. Everyone just wants.
Absolutely. And not only that, I mean, you're crossing this new line and market, which can also help you segue into new lines of things. Especially, let's say, hey, I've got a small Austrian town who wants to make the investment to get something new. So now you have something to say, hey, we can give you this, but if you want something more, I mean, we've got that too. So it's just
coming soon.
TBD. TBD. That's so awesome. I can never get that in. Yeah. So, okay, hold on. I'm seeing. So what's happening with the OG Rattler? Is that being more phased out, or?
Yeah. So the original 5.5. For the most part, because that was kind of like a redheaded stepchild,
right?
Because we had to chop the upper receiver and kind of make unique parts and bolt carriers, stuff like that.
Right.
So the Rattler LT is a little bit more cleaner, in the fact that it all is kind of sharing the same upper and stuff like that. So it's much easier to go from 6 3/4 all the way up to 16-inch.
Right.
There definitely are some units that basically contractually still have the 5.5 inch, so we do still support it. And there's a possibility that we might reintroduce something along that lines in a limited scale. But the Rattler LT, because it's kind of more in line and it's a lot easier and it's not like weird components, it's much easier to support that, and it allows people to kind of flex between an LT and a Rattler LT and all kind of have like one family, whereas the old Rattler was kind of its own weird beast.
Right, I remember they were using, like, especially certain groups were using UTM bolts to train for that specifically on the 5.56 side. So, people were like, well, why do I need a 5-inch 5.56? So it's like, it goes deeper in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, so a lot of that is, like you were talking about, based on military requirements, and needing a UTM like kit is oftentimes the reason for a lot of those things, But I mean, I know plenty of people that were buying the 5.5-inch 5.56s and loving it. So
absolutely,
if you build it, they will come.
Oh, trust me. I'm just a guy who just wants a L-Vol, but hey, I hear you. Wow. So technically, its designation is what?
This particular one. I am not sure which.
That is not a commercial SKU.
Right, it's not a commercial SKU. Okay.
Yeah, this is for defense SKU.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, use your imagination. We had the cane brake before
TAC Ops.
So generally speaking, we don't. I mean, Chris, a lot of his product line is really left field stuff,
right?
Where you really can't just like snatch it out of the air and say, "Oh, they're going to do that next." He's pretty creative. I might be biased, but whereas stuff like this inline stuff, you can put 2 and 2 together. You see in a handguard.
A lot of these kind of stuff, it would probably be more under my stuff rather than like the main inline.
Okay.
It'll be like, okay, we'll do batches of 500, 1,000, like that. just to please the people that kind of want it.
Right.
So that's kind of a lot of where like a lot of the custom work stuff comes to. Yeah.
Question. I do have a question. This is just me. Do you guys make a cheek riser piece for this specific stock?
We did. We did. At one point.
Okay. Because the holes are there. So
Yes.
I'm just like, it was.
Yeah, so I was able to snag a couple years and years ago.
Okay.
We can look to see if it's feasible for us to revitalize that. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree. Like I run them on my personal guns
Right.
that I run the telefold. Having that cheek razor is nice. People that like run 193s, the 22s and stuff like that, it is nice.
For me, I run primarily. I set up all my guns like I'm running knots.
Yep.
So I just need this to me is the lightest stock, and I love it. I just, whenever I get behind the gun, especially when we did in New Mexico, I find myself, if I'm running passive, I'm just...
Your chin isn't not even.
It's not even anywhere close, but it's light, so it gives me everything that I need in my shoulder pocket. I'm a big guy, right? I just need a little something.
We can see if it's a lot of times the tool, isn't viable anymore, but we can see if it is and see if that's something that we can maybe do a run of. Yeah.
Awesome.
I know you're not the only person that's asked about that, so. Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff, accessory-wise, we kind of depend on the aftermarket too.
Okay.
We try and do all that we can, but there's a certain extent where it kind of starts to fall off, and we kind of expect the aftermarket to kind of pick up on that.
And it's also like if we sold it for a couple of years and then people weren't buying it, they're like, okay, then
that's a big thing.
We'll replace it with something else, and we'll help, because the website can only be so big, right? Or our web store and our inventory for accessories can only be so big. So like, this one wasn't as successful, so we kind of culled the bottom.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's occasionally there's the super user or someone that wants something very specific that we had once upon a time.
Right.
That kind of the sands of time kind of.
Well, it makes sense because even on your aftermarket side, like the LT, if you buy the actual LT stock, it comes with that little piece now with it, like the piece. So I'm just like, okay, this is great. Solve the problem on that end. I'm just a guy who loves this stock or loves the gas mask one. That to me is awesome. And a lot of people, not everybody's gonna run a gas mask stock, and I understand that. So I am that dude who literally has, in my house, you might see, if somebody put a camera up, you could literally build out however you want to do for the specific task or job that you're doing.
Yeah.
So
Gas mask stock is a pretty cool vibe.
It is.
And that's the rarest, I think. I haven't acquired that one yet. I have everything else.
Well, hold on. That is actually not the rarest. What we know in the commercial side is being the Kate Moss stock.
I have that. I have a first gen.
He's been working here for a long time.
So I have like a Gen 1.5.
Do you have an LVAW handguard?
Yes, I do.
Man, rare right there.
But again, I was a rifle lead at the
Hey,
time.
he's a car guy. You a car guy? Make some spots.
Okay, I've been trying to finish this build for like literally 4 years. Okay.
All my test guns still have K-Moss stocks on.
Yeah, the test guns we have here, we like you mentioned before, we test fire all the Calyx barrels and whatnot. So we install it on a gun and fire it. But theoretically, I think a lot of companies might not do that. We make sure every single accessory we send out is fully functional. And so basically, guns that collect dust on the floor have K-Moss stocks. Don't let them see them. So,
I'm telling you, just put it on the website. Just see what happens. It will. I promise you, the world will blow up. I'm just saying. So customer service will be getting calls. What is this? What is this? I need the F03 gas plug. I need like all this stuff. Like this. Hey, I'm just saying. I know from experience. Ultimate end user. Trust me, if there's anything MCX that like I have dove into it. So
yeah, there's a lot of kind of cool history and unique stuff with MCX over the years. A lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. Thanks for crushing my hopes and dreams. It's okay. He's like, oh yeah, I just got someone else laying her out. What? Like you? What? I'm like, okay, thanks, preach. I'm telling you, you got a retro line, man. And as you can see, I'm over here in what I like to call my dreamland. NGSW program stuff, man. These are being sent out. Some of the finest weapons in the industry, ready to go, ready to rock, and in full production and full shipping. So Guys, this is it almost brings a tear to my eye. I wish I could take it home, but I can't. So
It's a fun switch.
absolutely.
So this is going to SOCOM.
And look at that. Another stock that was
So this is requested specifically by SOCOM.
okay. Now it's not the Racer, it's actually, you guys call it in-house Razor.
Yeah.
So Razor, Seesaw, CSAS, there's what else? Well, you guys don't do the CSAS.
We submitted for CSAS.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But
That
Seesaw for
actually-
sure.
That evolved into the XM7.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So all these acronyms.
Military loves their acronyms.
There's another acronym that you guys know that's near and dear to my heart, LVAW, but hey, I'm just, in the place where it
was born.
It was born, so there you go. Listen, man, you got to be here to believe it. I'm just saying, you'll never see this on a Reddit post. I'm just letting you know. Wow. That's awesome. That's what's up. Small, minute things, man. Small, minute things. I'm nerding out so hard in here. So, fun switch. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Oh, this is where we came around. Yeah, we came around that side. We did not see this corner. Okay.
These works. Basically, just push that. And that's essentially, this is just emulating the nutsack.
Okay.
Yep.
And that is actually a technical term that is.
It's used in the military. I don't think drum really makes.
No. Why?
Pouch.
Yeah. Why do you think they call it nutsack? I just.
Because we're a bunch of immature, people in the military.
And there you go. Technical term answered. So what are it's just
365 FCUs. Those aren't machined all the way out yet.
Okay.
Because once they're completed, then you need I think it's 24 hours for ATF. We submit that, so that's when the firearm is created. So you see, we got a whole bunch of them that are at least partially made right now. So
I don't know what movie it is where maybe it's American Beauty where it's kind of a weird scene, right? I'm just laying on our bed of 8 FCUs, just oh God, and just falling all down and whatnot. That'd be kind of cool.
yeah, that's they're literally using this as a doorstop right now.
Ingenuity at best.
So they're not fully machined yet. Yeah. So, but once you do fully machine it, then we need to essentially give the serial number to the ATF within 24 hours.
Right.
So.
Gotcha. I think they're not serialized yet, right?
No. Yeah, they're not. You can't make that into a firearm yet.
Right. It's just a piece of metal.
Yep.
Piece of metal.
That's awesome.
So there's forbidden milk. So yeah, you can actually see them getting machined right now.
Wow. They're bathing in milk. Like Kim Kardashian.
What are these guys' cycle times when it comes to making these FCUs?
I honestly, off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it's pretty fast. Obviously, we have a lot of machines here, and they've got crates and crates of them, so they're cranking them out pretty fast.
Yeah, so they got hour meters. They got hour meters, and depending on the part, they just take certain hours, minutes, whatever. Right. I know that from the other factory tour that I did. Oh, this is it right here.
Yeah, so these are machined, but they're not serialized yet.
Yeah, they're not final. They're still pretty edgy.
Yeah. So they'll get deburred and all that stuff. So.
All right, pretty cool. Jason, follow me.
I'm right behind you.
Woo.
You just got machines and machines just cranking them out.
Wow. That's so dope.
So this is different than those parts over there, right?
Yeah, those are 365s, these are 320s.
Right.
Yeah, so serialized. They got serial numbers on them. Little QR code or whatever that is.
Yep.
Pretty cool. I'm assuming this is finished. This looks finished to me, but I don't know.
So there will be some extra make sure that there's no
Filing.
Yeah, that there's no any birds and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty much. So this is where we laser mark.
Okay.
So you'll kind of see like all the M18, all this stuff. So this is all getting done by a laser.
Okay.
So it feeds in on one side. It's kind of fully separated because like it's not an eye-safe laser.
Right.
And then it kind of spits out. It goes from this and then spits out in an engraved sled.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, you can see the X's getting engraved. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are good.
And then like over here, it's doing all the serial numbers.
Okay. All right.
And then we can go on the other side and just kind of show off the finishing.
Okay.
So it's going to be quite loud in here.
Okay.
But this is where all kind of the deburring and the vibratory tumble, and then we also have like both human and robotic sanding.
Okay.
So kind of like all the polishing and stuff like that happens in here if you wanted to take a peek.
Absolutely. So this is going to be kind of loud in here, so we're just going to B-roll this one.
Yeah, these like giant belt sanders that are all robotically, so they'll just like be polishing stuff and
wow.
Yeah, so it's not we do some hand polishing, but a lot of it's just done robotically because they do it consistent and perfect every single time, you know?
Right.
Big vibratory tumbles with all that media shaking, taking all the burrs and stuff off. Yeah.
Wow. So it tumbles?
Yeah, it just takes all the hard
Files it, right?
it just takes all the hard edges and stuff off.
This is afterwards.
Yep. So this has been kind of all. You can see kind of how.
Here's the
raw
one.
It feels a little sharp. And
Very sharp edges. You can really cut yourself, and then we have super smooth.
And this is ready for finish.
Yeah,
I mean, different guns. I know
so
about.
this one, like, it would get bead blasted if we would leave it the raw stainless.
Right.
Or you get the various like PVDs, DLCs, Cerakote. So there's a variety of different coatings depending on what model and stuff like that. So.
All right, Jason, dude. Okay, you looked like a little kid in a candy store in there. Tell us, I've already done this. Tell us how you felt.
So for me, from an engineering standpoint, this is where the culmination of a lot of things happen and they come together. So to be able to talk to these guys who are actually on the machine floor, the assembly floor, and actually see in depth how these things happen.
They run programs.
The programs, the light system that cascades on there so they get the QC right. And guys, I can't stress this enough. There is QC beyond QC on QC when it comes to this. Redundancies in here.
It's insane. I love it. Here's what I love about SIG SAUER. They're obviously the state-of-the-art facility here. We've got multiple different facilities that we're going to check out.
Yep.
Folks love their job here.
Yeah.
Everybody speaks so highly of this company, not just in front of the cameras, guys. Behind cameras, I know some of these guys. We're friends. We text. They love this company. They love this job. Dude, it speaks for itself. We see why.
Yeah. I got a lot of answers to a lot of questions internally that I had, like, hey, will there possibly be a Canebrake SD, a new one? Yes. Unofficially.
So where are we going next now?
Exeter? Their other facility?
Exeter. I know we have live fire portion too that I maybe had a little eavesdropping. I heard that, but it's going to happen. So I think we should move on to the next facility.
Let's enjoy this weather too.
You do that. All right, guys, here we are at the SIG Experience Center. We've got Jason, obviously, with us.
What's going on, folks?
And you've got Phil, the director of basically operations, the entire SIG SAUER.
Hello.
Phil, great seeing you.
Good seeing you again.
Again.
Yes, sir.
Nice meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Absolutely.
Not Aaron, by the way. Not Aaron, by the way.
There you go.
Everybody in the comment section gets this joke. So, Phil, we're here. I was here about, 4, 5, 6 months ago, whatever that was. It's the first time for Jason.
Yep.
What are we going to do in there?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to show you the building. This is the first thing you see. This was our first foray into the public range access portion of SIG SAUER Academy. We used to have the pro shop set up over there where the instructor's hooch is now.
Okay.
But now we're able to give someone a full experience, not just a purchasing experience, but a shooting and a training experience, and it's all available inside. Now, we have 150 acres of everything else that we're probably going to show you as well. We're going to jump in that Suburban right there and show you the whole campus, but this is kind of where it all starts, where registration starts, and when at the end of the classes, this is where we try to funnel people in, kind of like the Disney World effect, where we get them into the gift shop afterwards so they can start buying some stuff.
That is so cool. So now, guys, everybody knows about 6 Hour products. We have featured them on the channel so many times, and we will continue to do so. They're fantastic. And SIG does a lot more, especially on the training side that we were talking about. 6 Hour has one of the world-class instructors out there, right? The 6 Hour master class that a lot of my friends have taken. You guys do a lot of training stuff that a lot of people generally don't know about, and I want to really harp on that here too. Can anybody take trainings with class with 6 Hour?
Yes. Yeah. Which
I was going to say classic firearms.
It's okay.
I mean, classic firearms can come out and do a co-op course if you want. We'll make it work. Yes. The answer to that is yes. If you're assuming you're not a felon and you can legally own firearms, yes, you can sign up for a class. We have foundational series classes where you kind of learn the basics. All the way up to classes like reaching for 1,000 and bullets and vehicles. And I mean, we have a myriad of classes here that get pretty advanced. And like you mentioned, master instructors courses. We do contract work with 3-letter agencies and law enforcement groups and SWAT teams and HRT. And we have a lot of customers that come out here, but it's also open to the public. And to your point, that is one element of SIG Sauer that really doesn't get brought up a lot. Everyone knows us for our guns and our optics and our ammo and our suppressors and our military contracts, but one of the things that really makes us stand out from the rest of everyone is, to your point, the quality of the instructors and the quality of the instruction. And we hang our hats on that here. And man, I challenge anyone to find a better instructor or a better group of instructors than we have here. And I used to teach. I mean, I used to do it full time. That was my job. And I came here and I got humbled by some of these guys and their ability to communicate, right? It feels like the same stuff you learn everywhere else, but it's not, because they deliver it so much better.
Yeah, teaching is a skill, like we always talk about, and you guys definitely do it right. Like, I've met some of your instructors because we were here at the SIG Next event, me and Ryan, and we met some of those guys too. And some of my friends, as I said, have taken your classes. They won't stop talking about it. Now that you kind of threw something out there, you said, maybe we'll have you guys over here for a co-op or something. I don't know, you said it, maybe someday.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm totally into it, actually.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
All right, let's do it. Well, you want to get in there and start going?
Let's head inside, I'll show you around.
All right.
Let's do it.
So hello, folks.
Super friendly here at the SIG Sauer Academy.
100%.
I feel like I'm being kidnapped.
Well, I felt like this is the best way to keep us all together. And that way no one gets lost.
That's
and,
right.
Yeah, we're telling the same story.
It is a huge facility. And we could potentially get lost here.
Yeah, this is the safest way.
I mean, buddy system for sure.
I'm not sure exactly when we're supposed to let go, but now I feel like we're kind of stuck here.
I know it's kind of warm right here. So.
Can I let go?
On 3.
Please?
1, 2,
3. So this is the inside, right? The point of this building was to make an impact, right? When you walk in, we wanted you to.
Who made it here?
Well,
a guy named Phil.
No,
No. He's being too humble right now.
That is absolutely not the case. But I did take over here about a year ago, and that's been awesome for me. I started in product management. You guys have probably seen me in a few of those silly videos that I used to do. But taking over here, it's been awesome. And the goal when this building was being built was to kind of highlight SIG Sauer. Obviously, the product side of it. The wall all behind us, all those products are all SIG Sauer, with the exception of Mossberg shotguns, which we have a good relationship with. We do their armorers course here.
Okay.
So because we like to offer a myriad of classes: shotgun, rifle, pistol, and we wanted to go beyond that. So we didn't want it to just be about the product, like we mentioned. So we actually added on a museum, which shows people kind of the behind the scenes of SIG, like a peek behind the curtain, if you will.
Right.
So where we show people get a chance to handle the machine gun. They get to see all the firearms that we've won military contracts with, and suppressors and ammo and optics. How our manufacturing facility is set up, because you guys got a chance to see the actual facility, but a lot of people don't get a chance to go in and see that facility. It's
Hopefully
impressive.
This video will do it for them.
Well, for sure, that's sure. But for those who don't have that luxury, or they just want to learn more about it, there's actually a place in there where they can see an interactive screen video where they can actually see the productivity.
They can just show up.
They can come here and kind of get a glimpse of SIG Sauer, not just the product. So the goal there was just kind of show people what else we offered, and also there's a history wall that tells people about the company, where we come from. If you guys want to check it out, let's go see it.
Yeah, sweet. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm not holding your hand.
We should have grabbed his arm. All right.
Hey, guys.
Museum. This is it.
This is cool.
Yeah. So
Where do you want to start?
Well, this typically everyone gravitates towards the military side of things. Oh yeah.
Where's he going?
He's going. He wants to touch stuff. So
Okay, yeah, you know, we'll just watch him do
Right.
things.
Well,
You want to explain us?
this is basically the contract wall that spans from the Navy SEAL Award in 1989 with the Mark 25, and it goes across chronologically of all the contracts that SIG SAUER has won with the military, including optics, including suppressors. I mean, you'd be shocked to know how many suppressor contracts SIG owns.
You know, here's the deal. I'm gonna go back to suppressors, but I can see his face, and I know I know where he's looking. That guy.
Yeah.
Because he's been crying about it for the last 2 days.
Yeah, that's a pretty popular one.
What are you gonna do? Oh, he didn't see the glass.
It's like literally, if he was leaning forward to look at a dress in the window and he hit his head on the window. That's so sad.
It's a prime thing that just I'll never know what it's like to finish a clone build. So
Yeah, but that optic is not high enough for you, though.
I don't care about the optic. Man. It's okay. Give me the thing. That right there is history in a glass.
It is.
And I can't be any more serious than that. The ultimate unobtainium. So one of my big things. So I'm just saying.
Now, from a product management position, not that I'm a product manager anymore, you know, that sounds to me like it sounds like opportunity to me.
That's right.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Maybe you know what?
Maybe
Maybe
it
I
all
will
started
get
right
it. Gee, how funny would it be? Like somehow I get my hands on something like that, and I don't like. I'm like, I don't need this. I'm just gonna keep it in my drawer at home.
Lay off the top of your building and fast rope in your house.
I don't get the impression he's as excited as you are about that prospect. But.
Yeah, I think he's a little too excited.
Well, you know what would make you feel better? Renting one of these.
That is very true.
On the range.
That is very true.
And soon, probably within the beginning of next year, we are going to be able to rent this the XM250 on the indoor range. So we're gonna give people the opportunity to shoot this. And what's really cool about this display is they're not live, but they're functioning. Like they actually everything works on the on the rifle. Everything works as it would, and people can pick them up and feel what the weight is, because a lot of people don't get a chance to handle this. And this is basically the 240 Golf replacement. More capability and half the weight.
Like we were just talking about in the factory, how light that thing was, because we went up to that new shooting range that you guys have.
Yep, upstairs.
Incredibly light.
Yeah, it's people don't get a real understanding. They think they're prop guns. They pick it up and they think, oh, that can't be real. Is this a prop gun? No, that's what it weighs. And so it's a chance for people to take pictures. We get a lot of pictures taken here, as you can imagine. A lot of pictures taken in front of the vehicle in the corner. So this gives people a chance to really experience a part of SIG that they would otherwise never be able to.
Think about this, guys. You'll be shooting the XM250. What is that, 338? Or
this is the 6.8. 338 is behind me. My range probably won't handle that.
I tried that. I promise you that's a little too much. We shot that one. Me and Aaron did, or Jason. Doesn't matter. We shot the both of them, 338 and the 6.8. It is so much fun, and I can't believe people get to come out here, because we have the privilege, the classic firearms and all that. We have a good relationship. Now that I learned that actually anybody can come out here and shoot, what a privilege for anybody, because that's a military contract gun.
It is. And there's going to be an opportunity to shoot that. I'm trying to get it set up to where you can shoot it in 308 as for a more affordable package, or if you want the full Monty and want to go straight 6.8 hybrid ammo, it costs a little bit more. Obviously, the ammo is very expensive, but we want to give people the opportunity to shoot it and to try it out. Right now, you can actually rent a full auto Spear, which is the civilian version of that, the XM7. And we want to give people the opportunity to try the belt fed, so we're going to do that.
When you guys come out here, do the 308, whatever, but you want to feel that real military experience, you want to shoot the 6.8. I'm sorry. That's just,
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we have the mural here is pretty interesting in that these uniforms were actually worn by some of our instructors. They were deployed while they wore them, so these uniforms have been overseas.
Okay.
They actually configured them so they were configured correctly. So we didn't have any people coming in going, "Oh, you'd never wear it that way." Well, actually, that's exactly how they wore it because they were deployed and they did it. But so it's always kind of a neat thing. This is where everyone likes to stand with the machine gun and take their picture. History of SIG SAUER. It's basically an entire wall that shows, from the start of 1751 all the way to today and where we're going in the future. So people can get some interesting tidbits of knowledge. Our first pistol contract, our first rifle contract. When we transferred over to the United States, became a United States manufacturing facility, all the way to today. It's a neat way to learn about the company, because I've found that if people feel vested in the company, if they know more about it, they're certainly more willing to be a repeat customer, right? It's no longer a product. It's no longer just a thing to them. They feel like part
identity.
of it. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's like a car. You have connections to certain cars, and don't get me started about cars, but there's connection to handguns as well, and firearms and rifles, and we want to help establish that connection by getting people closer to the company, not just the product. And I think that helps. And this manufacturing wall over here helps. I don't know if it's working. Let's see if it's working. Okay. But this is basically an interactive screen where we have 3 manufacturing facilities that we highlight. The one in Newington, which you visited, the ammo plant in Arkansas, and the optics plant in Oregon. And the way this is supposed to work is you touch a location, and it kind of pulls that location up, and it will pull a generated video up on the big screen, so you can actually learn a little bit more about the facility, see how the robots work and everything. As with most technology, sometimes it takes a little bit of effort. There we go. So that pops up, and it talks a little bit shows you a little bit about the manufacturing capability, because we had this up there before where we had how we made the slides, how we made the magazines, and the progression throughout the process, but we thought a video would be a little better. And the intent, sneak peek for all your viewers out there, the intent, my wishes are to at some point turn this into a virtual reality station where we have where we have 2 or 3 spots where you can actually put them on and kind of be fully immersed in the tour, and that way you're getting a little bit of taste of what the factory really looks like, and you could theoretically put that into a shooting simulation thing.
Think about this. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, dude.
Think about this. One of those, you guys got a lot of 3-letter agency, also like SOCOM guys, retired, left the group, whatever, or maybe active, some of them too. Just imagine they tell you a scenario that they can talk about, and you guys actually create that virtual reality of that situation, and they use one of your guns.
Writing this down here.
I will 6 SAUER anytime you need any kind of really creative stuff. Class Firearms, Kai over here. Be very happy to help you. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, with that being said.
All right, so let's move on to the range.
Let's go.
We're gonna make it.
Dun, dun, dun. So here we are.
All right.
Hey,
Sorry,
how's it going?
Sorry, I got a little excited.
Men. So we got fully caffeinated. We're in the range.
So freaking good.
Yeah, so this is a latte with salted caramel and eggnog and
Pixie dust
and unicorn horns.
Kind of stand a little weird, like I don't know why I want to stand like
well,
that.
It looks natural.
Got a broken wrist.
All right, let's get back on track here.
Okay.
30 lanes, 10 lane ranges. We got 3 of them. Grand traps, fully climatized. So obviously, if it's cold or hot outside, same temperature always inside. Okay. If people have a gun, they want to test it. It's like you wouldn't buy a car without test driving it. Right. So here you can see our range staff and say, hey, I want to try out gun X or gun Y or gun Z. You can get it here, take it out on the range, shoot it. If you like it, you can head right back up and buy it. And you can also sign up for classes here. You can buy a membership here. So as we mentioned, we want people to have the full experience, right? From 0 to 100. And here you can come in not knowing anything and walk out of here signed up for a class, or we actually have an instructor walking around here somewhere, and he's assigned to the range. We have an instructor always assigned from start to finish, open to close. And if you want one-on-one instruction from a 6 SAUER instructor, you can get it right here as well. So, and plus, of course, we teach classes. I think there was a class going on range 1 today. Yeah. We're going to be on range 2. We're going to actually try out the SIG Connect, the optical hit detection target.
Ooh.
So, something you guys may not get a chance to do at next. So here we're gonna see how it looks.
I hope those guns
just don't miss. Just don't miss. That's the worst part. We put the targets at 4 yards.
Why do you have to? Why do we have to just like measure all that stuff? Like it's the hit ratio is
Metrics matter.
That's true. Hey, remember, after drinking that, make sure you keep your wrists locked.
What does this even look like? Oh my God, look at this thing, guys.
Yeah, that's also available here at the 6 Hour Academy. Did we mention that? Cafe, right over there.
There you go. You're gonna need to really lock your wrist after this and clench your butt.
All right. See
Yeah.
Heading to range 2.
Okay.
I'm going to introduce you guys to Austin. He's one of our RSOs. He's actually one of our experts here at SIG Connect. So
okay.
Cool. So this is our range. As you can see, it's climate controlled, 72 degrees.
Nice and clean.
It's a grand trap, granular rubber trap, so very quiet. Not a lot of problems with lead. You know, it keeps the lead count down. And yeah, this is basically it. Where's Austin? Enter at stage left.
There he is.
So this is Austin. Austin's one of our range safety officers, and he's actually going to kind of walk you guys through the OHD, how it works, and kind of give you the benefits of it. But I mean, yeah, the range is yours. Just have fun and let's get after it.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's do it. We'll start over here on the OHD. Bring it on in, guys. All right. So pretty straightforward, right? These are the targets. They're specifically designed to be picked up by the camera, right? We got these running on tablets right now, but it runs off an app on your cell phone, right? Okay. You download the app, you get the subscription, and these targets are free to print off. So once you have the subscription and the app, you basically have unlimited amount of these targets, right? You just print them out at home. It's regular, just printer paper, right? So when we want to go ahead and get into this thing, we'll just go ahead and start a drill. There's a bunch of different things that you can do. Just for this, for instance, we're going to run this thing out to 6.7. Let's go ahead. Let's start with a free shoot. That's a little bit more intuitive.
Okay.
Right, so we're going to go ahead and acquire the target first. Once it picks up on that, it'll automatically acquire it, right? We got a couple of different viewing options, kind of shooter preference at that point. When we hit shooter ready, we'll get a little countdown. Once it fires up, we'll get that beep. And now as I'm shooting, right, we're going to go ahead, everybody eyes and ears. Go. Cool. At this point, we would live range. Cool. So we're just going to put a couple of rounds on it, right? Perfect. We got 3 rounds on the target there. Automatically picks up our hits, gives us our count. When we end session, the nice thing about this is once you get in here and you're shooting a lot and you're kind of going through the motions, right? This gives us a tool that we can go back and check our hits and see what order we shot in, all that stuff. Wow. It gives us a bunch of data. Yeah, so useful for that, especially for people that are at a certain point where they're looking for follow-on training, right? Especially if you don't have equipment like this. We've got kind of a fancier range, right? So like you're like ranges with less technology, you can bring this out and try this stuff out, and then you can pre-program the drills and stuff without having all the extra equipment in here.
That's awesome.
So yeah, cool. Do you guys want to try it out at all?
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. I'll go ahead and throw a couple more in the mag here for you.
So what we can do is get some B-roll of you guys shooting if you want.
Yeah, definitely.
And
perfect.
And that actually does auto pasting. So that you can when you shoot a second time, it pastes, electronically pastes those hits.
Oh, I see.
Whoa, so you don't.
Now you don't need to.
You can kind of see an outline of where they were.
Oh, that is cool.
If you zoom in on the screen, you can kind of see where the hits were. And then when he shoots again, it'll populate the hits on top of.
Side.
So it's recording hits live, real time, and it's seeing the hits on target, and it's calculating them, and it also can show you which round hit first. So if you get to the point where you're shooting double, say you go out and you shoot, pop up 2 rounds. Usually you would just know, okay, I got 2 hits on a target. Now you can evaluate where your first shot went and where your second shot went. And if you're always going first shot here, second shot high right, you can fix adjust your grip. You can adjust things you normally wouldn't be able to, because now you can track exactly what round you shot and when you shot it. And it also keeps track of your split times, your score. It does everything. And it's literally as easy as hitting a button on your computer, printing out a piece of paper, and putting it on the range. And we're getting ready to make larger versions of that target where you can print it on 11 by 17, so it's not an 8.5 by 11 piece apart. Now that's good, really good shooting at that distance, but it's an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Make that a little bigger, give people a bit more confidence in their shooting. Yeah. And I mean, the system sells itself. You just got to play with it, and it costs to use that and the system, and you can actually keep track of your progress. You can keep a log of how you're doing and the drills you're running. You can literally track your progress for years. Yeah. And it's like it's $8 a month to buy the service and to be able to use OHD, optical hit detection. Yeah. Plus, there's other targets. There's the target we actually run here that actually senses the rounds going through the paper. It's actually a metallic sheet inside the bullet shorts out the sheet, and it records the hit physically on the paper as well, and it transports that to your phone. So you're basically operating wirelessly through your phone. You can play games like SIG Says, which is a version of Simon Says. You can play Scramble. There's all kinds of different games you can play on the certain targets, or you can keep it simple and just do optical hit detection and test your hits, test your splits, see how fast you can shoot 5 shots in one target because it keeps track of your time. Yeah. And in fact, we were actually doing like 5-shot challenges where guys like me and Max and other people were shooting 5 shots on that target and then challenging people to beat it. And every time they enter, they would get entered into a chance to win, a free time at the range or a free box of ammo or even a free gun. So it's a cool system, and we're trying to get it out there so people can get a chance to shoot and not just have an average, ordinary day at the range. We're trying to make it fun again,
Yeah. Oh, it's really cool. Very impressive. I didn't know.
Sweet.
Yeah, I want to shoot it. Yeah.
All right. So you got an end session.
You want me to just shoot?
Hold on. So you got.
It's a lot more sensitive. You shoot the shot.
Yes, end it.
Hold on. So you do hit end session.
Yeah, in session.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, I think I moved the.
And hit yes, end it. And then hit start. And when it beeps, you're ready to go. Oh,
that's you.
You're good.
Left target.
That hits your start button at the bottom.
That one?
Yep. Stand by. Go.
All right. I hit the target once.
No, well, as long as you hit inside, the corners, it'll still record the shots. But yeah, to your point, yeah, I mean, you got hits on the paper.
I would reset it.
Hold on.
Could have been that latte. That did it.
Let me do this for real.
Yeah. Okay. How about we try that again?
Yeah, let's try this again, guys. Yeah. That was a latte. That latte was from Phil, and clearly I should have drank that. So I stopped drinking it. Should be better now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just.
Oh no, it takes maybe 24 to 48 hours to get out of your system. I'm not sure.
Listen, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get in here real quick.
Yep. Go.
And I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna give you a clean target.
Yeah, give me a clean target. I think that's what it was. Just give me some more excuses. How about I just slow down?
Now you'll shoot on the right target.
All right. You guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
Yeah. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna, as soon as you're ready, get your gun loaded. Put it in your right hand. You're right-handed.
Yep. So
All right,
loaded.
Load it up. Now, when you hear the beep, you can start from elbows in and just shoot 5 shots on the right target.
The right.
The right one. Yeah. When you hear the beep. Ready?
Yep.
5 hits. Stand by. That's way better. So now you're talking. So, in session, yes, and so what you can do is now you can see exactly how long it took you. It took you 5.56 seconds. Good number, actually. You got 27 points, so it scores each hit, and you can recall the session, and you can see exactly where your hits went. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Anticipating right there. Oh, look at that! Look at those!
Holy cow. I think that might be a glitch.
No, I don't think so. I think that was just me doing so well because of that latte.
Yeah.
I mean, I can back it up if you want me to.
Oh, let me try.
Hey, guys.
Every now and then you gotta let the old man shoot.
All right, so is it okay you don't?
I'll shoot.
Fine.
I'll shoot it left-handed.
Oh.
No. Just do your thing.
Damn it. It can't be that good. I don't even know how to I got every lights. I barely know
You
how to
shoot ready? You want me to, there we go. And
yeah, let's end it. So a little faster. Pitch one is good. The hit factor was not great either. So look, you did great.
No, you shot a second faster than me, and you had better grouping.
Oh, don't beat yourself up. It's fine. You know.
We both beat Jason. Let's get out of here.
First of all, absolutely not. I hear you, but yes, you're the man. All right, I will say.
Jason just standing there like, what's going on?
I'm a casualty, bro.
Oh,
casualty.
I mean, you want to shoot again? You want to? You know what? Jason gets 5 rounds.
All right. Yeah, I'll see.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on. I got 5 in there. There we go. And yes. All right. Go ahead, load her up. I'll hit you. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
And I'll get your shooter ready button here. One. All right. You ready? Stand by. Go.
Let's just leave.
All right. Hey, that's a way to do it.
What else we got waiting for us?
Well, I think you guys. Look, I don't want to kick you out of my range, but after that display, I think we've seen enough. However, I believe we've got some more to show you guys in Rochester. Just, I think the most important thing is need to understand that this is a place you can come and shoot from the ground up. And we also have an outdoor facility, another 150 acres of outdoor ranges. So, like we mentioned earlier, come out here and take a class.
Yeah, we were there at the SIG Next event. We'll have that on the screen as well so people can see that. And I really am utterly impressed with SIG SAUER. Every time, like last time was my first time here. When we left, I was like, holy crap. Like I knew SIG was big and awesome, but you guys were at a level that I never imagined. And now I'm back here 4 or 5 months later. I'm like, holy crap, you guys constantly impressing me. And next time, I hope that we're here. Just keep going. Hold on. I bought him a latte. That's what it was.
Oh, God. Nothing to see here, folks. My AARP card fell out.
So the SIG continues to impress me. If you want me to continue saying stuff, you got to give me more than that. Oh, God. Okay.
Did I give you a 1? That's all I got.
Give me that check.
How about a check?
Yeah. SIG is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It's absolutely, you guys need to come out here and the best. That's it. So let's move on.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, we said goodbye to Phil at SIG's Experience Center, and here we are. Where's this place?
The Rochester Center, and I see you kept the coffee, so we're rolling strong there.
This is my second. What? This is my second cup. I was like, this is my second cup.
As you can tell, it's been a long day, but it might look like it's 8 o'clock. It's actually only 4:30.
Exactly, and what we're gonna do right now is it's freaking cold out here. We're gonna get in there, and I think they're gonna show us a few more things. It's a little bit. It's a smaller facility here, but they do some big things like the magazines. Without mags,
NGSW stuff too.
NGSW stuff as well. Yeah, I mean, mags are, in my opinion, one of the most important thing when it comes to shooting guns or any kind of firearms. Without them, you're nothing. It's just a brick, right? Anyways, you want to get in there and see what's inside?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll get to pistols, but I think the newest, latest and greatest stuff that you're going to want to see is all the machine gun equipment, how we're making the NGSW contract, how we're making the XM7, the XM250, and then we'll go over to the other side where you'll see kind of the things we've made for a while, like MPX, MCX, and then all the classic line pistols. And we making X5s right now?
Possibly. So
we've got 226 X5, the real Gucci frames. You want to see those ones. Those.
So the manufacturing layout here, to give you a better idea of what you're going to see. So we have 3 different manufacturing sites in New Hampshire.
Right.
you visited Pease, right? We do all of our assembly there. So eventually all of our manufacturing components rally back in Pease, and then they go through assembly in the range.
Right.
We do pistol slides and some small internal parts as far as machining in Pease.
Okay.
In Exeter, we do pistol barrels.
Right.
And all of our suppressors, and then that's our center of excellence for additive manufacturing. So all of our metal 3D printing is in Exeter.
Okay.
And then here in Rochester, we do the classic metal frames. We do a lot of laser engraving on our poly products.
Okay.
We make all of our magazines, both for the MCX or Spear, plus our pistol mags. We make all of our rifle barrels here. Then we do the upper and lower, the machine gun receivers, all the internal components for rifles. So
handguards too.
Yep.
We do some handguards. We don't do them all, but
Well, there's only one
There's a
that I
specific
have
one this
asked.
gentleman is just going crazy about lately.
which one's that?
The original L-ball.
The what?
LBAW handguard.
Oh, that's
Do
on
you
an
like
MCX.
He's dying for it. Like, he probably would sell his car or give you his car for it.
That's an old one.
I would give away my M5 for that.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
You have to show it to me because I launched all the handguards like from the
You should
beginning.
not let Floss leave.
If it was,
He
I
has a
launched all
folder.
them all, so
I have
I
a
know what they
folder.
all are. I just don't remember because that sounds like an older one.
So to give you an idea of the scale of what Phil leads, Phil, how many engineers do you have?
So I have like, I forget it, but I think I have 14 guys now. making
Wow.
Barrels.
And that's
But when I started, I did.
No, that's barrels and anything milled. Then there's a
Yeah.
whole other engineer
That does
group
mill
here
turn
that does
stuff.
turning and mill turning.
Oh yeah, dude, that's like ancient. I could give me. I might know somebody.
See? You see that? You're a SIG, bro. Like, he's like Clifton. Come on.
There's some. He's one of my guys. Yeah, that's
All right,
like
let's
from
get
a
on
while
with
ago. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
It's getting better and better.
Alright, so yeah, so this is gonna be a better like image for you right here. So all the receiver halves start out life as those big chunks of metal behind you.
Right.
We have these big palletized horizontal machines set up to make pairs of these, and then they have a final machining operation where they get married together.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this is like what life looks like, before they get riveted and painted.
Wow.
So like your whole gun is like this, right? The only kind of cool thing at this stage that I think is neat is that like you can pick any half in this box, and they'll be like I could take any one half. Like they're not matched sets until they're bolted together and assembled. That's not. When you make stuff like that, when you have interchangeable parts, I mean that's like the basis of like American manufacturing. Think of like Ford and like the assembly line, and like you can have any color car you want if it's black. Like, we're not gunsmithing parts here, okay?
Right.
We're making stuff like you'd make automotive parts.
Correct.
Okay, and this is like the same type of automotive level equipment. It may not be revolutionary in like how you, and like the kind of technology. It's just a regular, horizontal CNC, but the quality control, the process, all the behind the scenes work that it takes to get from that block to this is where, this is like, right, exactly.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Very cool. That is awesome.
So you don't want to make sure they get back put together like in the same box, because...
Let's check this out over here.
Okay.
All right, so those are the receiver halves for the upper, for the machine gun.
Right.
We're doing a couple versions of machine guns on these halves, on these machines, and then on this machine we're doing the lower receiver for the XM7, and we're doing the lower receiver for the MCX.
Okay.
This is a brand new, state-of-the-art 8-spindle machine. Okay.
Wow.
So at any point in time. Okay, I basically took all the cuts it takes to make one part and I split it across 8 spindles on 4 stations. So we'll see, but basically there's
4 vertical spindles and 4 vertical spindles and 4 horizontal spindles. All right. And at each of those 4 stations, you can have a vertical spindle and a horizontal spindle in the same part at the same time. Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you have your own engineering team that actually just does maintenance and keeps these machines in check.
They have like a pit crew of maintenance people that around here that just like that handles it. It's a huge department. I couldn't even tell you how many millions of dollars of spare parts for machines we have in stock. It's like it'll blow your mind. All right. I'll just take my word for it. I don't know what it is.
I'm a believer. I'm staring at it. All right.
You can see this like around the other side with the automation, but it's better to look inside here.
Okay.
To see like the actual machining. Sorry, I had a little roof leak.
It's all good.
So like you can see, this is one of the stations here, and you've got a rotary 4th axis and a vertical spindle and a horizontal spindle with its own 12 tool changer for the vertical and for the horizontal.
So how many lowers are we doing at a time?
I'm pretty sure there's nobody else like on the planet that's making firearms parts on a multi-spindle rotary transfer machine.
Right.
And yeah, we like it. A lot of our other pistols are all made on multi-spindle machines from SW and things like that.
Right.
A little bit of a different style machine, but again, like when you want to make the kind of numbers that you want to make and not have just rows and rows of machines taking up space, and then there's operators and this, that, I mean, that's the way to go.
Absolutely. Wow, hold on.
This is like one of the stations in between. We don't use it for anything, but the loading station is on the other side.
Okay.
So as you can see here, you got the robot loading. There's 4 stations that can load almost 24 hours of material into the machine.
Okay.
And then the machine will pick up the tray of parts, load, unload, and then deposit the finished receiver into a tray that we take out.
Right.
Okay, so like these chutes here are for like quality.
Okay.
If we wanted to check a part, we can tell the computer to just eject it here.
Okay.
We can look at it. So right now we're doing MCX.
Right.
Again, like a 4-ish minute part from forging. Again. And then next to the machine, you can also program it to run its own CMM program.
Okay. And for the folks who don't know CMM?
Yeah, so the CMM is just an automated inspection system. So at a frequency that I can determine, I can load, the robot will load this, go around with a probe and touch the part and take all the measurements, spit it out to the computer.
Everything gets verified, double check, triple check, and we keep it pushing.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
That's where we use this data to like look at like, okay, you know, we can see if like a tool is wearing out, or if like we gotta change the tool. We kind of get a feel like when it's gonna happen, and we do it preemptively.
Right.
So you never make a bad part. You just like, you drive between the lines, right? And then if you get too close on one edge, you change the tool before anything bad happens.
Right.
So
on an average time, like how many times you guys changing out tools? Like,
in aluminum, it's like really high.
Okay.
Like some tools can go thousands of parts.
Right.
Yeah, it's when you cut like steel and stuff like that, it can be less.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's you know, again, this is automotive quality and grade equipment.
Right.
Okay. That, you know, I mean, all guns aside, right? Again, I'm not like a gun guy. I'm more like a making stuff guy. Like, this is how you stay competitive.
Right.
Like, nobody has this, and thankfully our leadership is, you know, they're crazy enough to go and invest in this kind of stuff. You know, and here we are. You know, like, look behind you. Like, I don't know what other gun factories look like, but they don't have Zambonis driving around cleaning the floor and like, you know,
awesome,
spending $7 million on machining centers. You know what I mean?
That is very true. And I think, hold up, there's some upper stuff that we wanted to go through and look at.
The upper, we'll do it quickly. We got another same multi-spindle setup here as well.
Right.
This is going to make the upper receiver for the XM7.
Right.
It also begins from forging. It's also a multi-spindle machine. These have 2 spindles in each machine,
and it has a 5-axis trunnion system, as you can see in there.
Right. And
So here, so here's your forging.
Okay.
Right, and then can you grab one of those parts out of that box? Here's your forging, pretty heavy, and then your finished receiver. And then in the cell again has all the same automated inspection, you know, tool controls, load monitoring. I mean, like you name it. I mean, it's you have to have all these things. They're not revolutionary. Like you can go to other factories and see the same kind of things, but I think for firearms it's a little more. You know, this stuff's making its way there. You know, these machines are from SW.
Okay.
It's a German company, and they have obviously U.S. operations.
Right.
So these two machining cells are like I said, 6-7 million a piece. You know, we're developing. We know our products, so we're working with these guys.
Right.
Working like joint key.
Right.
You know, we didn't just say like, hey, make these for us. You know, like they don't know how to make our stuff.
Right.
You know, like so we work together collectively to be able to design the fixtures, the machining program that actually cuts the part, and develop all the tooling.
And this is running 24 hours a day.
I think 20 hours.
20 hours? Wow.
He would know. He's the ops guy behind you. He's like
20 hours running continuously, and
he's the guy that complains at me all the time and like, oh, you know, the machine's down. What do we do? I'm like, Dave, like just
breathe.
You do you. I'll help you out here. No, I love him. He's great.
Good deal.
So that is the XM7 barrel extension. That material is basically impervious to machining. So it took us quite a while to develop that because it handles the pressure of the
Right.
6.8
Yeah,
hybrid.
90,000 PSI.
And it weighs nothing, but yet it handles it.
The material is awful. Awful to machine.
So what is it, titanium?
No, it's called MAR aging.
Oh, wow.
What is it? MAR aging. It's a
MAR
very
aging?
specific grade of
Okay.
steel.
Go to the camera right here. This thing basically weighs nothing. It's very light, but yet it handles the pressures from the XM7. Wow. Probably eats tools like left and right, right?
Yeah. It sure does.
Amazing.
Wow.
All right. So behind us is the 5-axis area that we're making all the individual components for the machine gun on.
Okay.
So again, they're all palletized machines. Like this cabinet right here has inside all the fixtures for multiple parts.
Okay.
And then, you know, we'll run them in series. So here's an example of a part, right? So like we'll make a series of parts and then they'll get offloaded and taken to the next operation.
Right.
I wish I had one that was like here.
It's all good.
It's all right. That might have been, yeah. So like in the middle here we have like the material staged and then they'll go into the machines. This is making the lower receiver, if you will, for the machine gun out of that big giant block. And then down the line you're gonna see other parts, trigger parts, bipod parts, you know, other parts. Feed trays. I mean, like you name it. So there's 9 machines in this area that are making individual machine gun parts. And if we load these machines up, again, they can run unattended. You know, especially between breaks and things like that. Right. That's one of the trigger halves there. If you want to take a picture.
Oh yeah,
of it there.
absolutely.
So the reason why we went like 5-axis with a lot of these parts is 1, they're highly flexible.
Right.
2, they're not a whole lot more money than like regular horizontals, but they give us the ability to get to everything a lot easier with less operations. So it just makes the process a lot easier to run and keep track of. So.
Right there?
It's right on it.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to go to the top of it.
Yeah, I was turn the light on. Not sure where the light.
Can you see it? Is it good? Oh, okay, cool.
So some of the machines have larger pallet changers.
Yeah.
Like if we're doing small parts, they'll have a small pallet changer, and then
Okay.
they'll have a small fixture like inside here you can kind of see. But
Yeah.
or I wish they were like there's
Right
one
there.
there for example, right?
Okay.
All right, but if it's a larger part, this whole cage can be set up with multiple lower receiver fixtures. We can load them all up and then run unattended.
Gotcha.
And then these machines have like, I don't even remember. It's like 180, maybe even over 200 something tools.
Wow.
So if a tool is coming up on life, it can just grab the next one.
Okay. Wow.
That's this area,
Okay.
and then like we have more 5-axis machines on the other side.
Okay.
The area that's like immediately behind us is mill turn stuff.
Okay.
So like barrel extensions, extractors, anything that needs a lathe basically would be done on this side. It's making production parts, but also the XM7 componentry because they're shared. You know, like if you buy a spear, right? It's like literally the same thing except not full auto, and you know there's some different materials used in certain parts on the full auto gun. So they're set up in cells, right? So you got like a barrel extension cell here, you got an extractor cell over there.
Okay.
The barrel extensions aren't like super like, it's not a whole lot to look at. I mean, they're done all at one shot on a mill turn. The extractors are 2-op. That's set up again to change over between different families, but never like, we're not going to turn that over to like another type of part.
He's not responsible for that.
And I'm not responsible for any of it.
He's only talking highly about the stuff that he's responsible
It works. It's great. Let him. See, you need to focus on this.
I have when you listen to him, I have half the employees want to have a mutiny after watching the video.
Wow.
I think we've got like we got some parts here we can look at.
Okay.
You want to see you want to see the tray parts?
All right. So the pallet pool technology is necessary here at SIG because machine gun manufacturing, while we're producing a lot of machine guns for industry standards, from an automotive perspective, as Phil has emphasized, it's low volume manufacturing.
Right.
So the tricky part there is that when you're producing varying different dimensions at varying tolerances and materials, you would be setting up your machine equipment more often than you would be running it with low volume manufacturing. So with the pallet pool technology, we're able to have multiple jobs set up at the same time. So I can schedule this machine for the week, and if I need 20 of a component per week, this machine will make 20 of 5 or 6 different parts all within that same week with no setup.
That's awesome.
Okay? But it is rigorous from an operator perspective because they'll make something like this feed tray cover, right? But then, grab the sear over there on the bench. In this same machine, they'll be producing a sear block. So the competency of the machine operator has to be that much higher because they have to know how to measure and interpret the results across a wide variety of products.
Which is why he can't run it.
Exactly. So if everything's going perfectly, the operator only interacts with the product through that door. They're loading and unloading product. And then inside here, as the pallets come in, the spindle never stops.
Wow. Well, most importantly for the operator, if they're running a bunch of different parts, you know, we get it. It can be overwhelming, but everything they need is in the area, whether it's the tools, the gauges, you know, the stuff to move the parts around, spare tools, all set up, ready to go. Or if you come around the corner, you can see, like, we have shop floor CMMs to measure the parts, and when they click on a part on the CMM, they'll measure it, and then the data will come back and go right to that screen.
Okay.
Depending on what machine they're on.
Wow.
All right, so that's how we do milling.
Okay.
Let's walk through the rest of the factory. We have a lot more to show you.
Okay.
Phil just might not be as excited. The upper on traditional technology is about 86 minutes, and we do it in 13 over there. The lower on our traditional technology is 35 to 40, and we do it in 4 minutes. Okay.
Impressive.
All of our machines have QC Cal out on the floor, so we have the embedded Duramax CMM technology. They're measuring parts. Once that part gets measured, it sends the data to the appropriate machine, and that tells them where they're at within their process control. A yellow would be some kind of caution. A red is stop and verify the dimension.
Right.
And we have this throughout the whole shop.
Wow.
So we have across New Hampshire manufacturing, we have 86 different CMM measurement systems.
Wow.
There's no other company on the East Coast that has that many.
So cool. And those machines are calibrated to be on the floor. Like, they're thermally compensated, like, you know, things expand and contract, right? So like, and everything's quick change. And again, you can see like on the screen, they can just select what part they're doing, and load it. It shows them how to like load it, and then they put it on, and then they go.
It to the, okay, wow.
Look at that. How cool is that, man?
It's a little ruby tip that's on the that's on the end of that, and that's what they use to. Yep.
It's changing the head.
Yeah. So each part has its own different part.
Its own program, right?
Its own program to run. So when it's depending on which part goes, it'll grab it, go check every diameter, every little bit of tolerance, everything.
So to give you an idea though, on this lower, here's your book of results that you get at every measurement that you have to interpret.
This. No, I'm kidding. It's good.
Look at how many pages this is.
Yeah.
This is all different dimensions. It tells you where you're at just for that one part.
One part?
One part.
Feel the book of, and that you're doing that multiple times a shift and interpreting. And over on the pallet pool machines, you're getting several different parts of results to interpret and make an adjustment.
So they're not
all at one time.
They're not printing one of these every time. It's digital when it's between these, but the report Dave showed you is like the part will still once a shift go to QC.
Right.
Okay, the QC people will check it, and that's what. So
it's rigorous.
Yeah.
Keep up with the quality standards.
Yeah, that's how you keep that consistency.
But that's what like.
Well,
but that's what
the part interchangeability for the products. That's how you get it.
Right.
Wow.
But that's what everybody that works here, everybody that's focused on launching these parts and keeping the place going, is scrutinizing every single one of these things on here.
Right.
Because if I can't put something on the floor and have somebody run it if like half the time it's like doesn't work or they don't believe the data or whatever it may be, it needs to run.
Right.
Okay? It can't be, you know, otherwise you won't make a quantity of parts you need.
Correct.
You know?
Correct. Wow.
We're gonna walk towards you'll see like around the corner our Swiss turn lathes, which are just really big, long lathes that make very small parts. There's a number of those kinds of parts in all the guns we make.
Right.
They serve all of production, including in our contract.
Right. Like parts.
That's what you're looking at here.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll check these out. I mean, these are. You put a 12-foot long bar inside these feeders, and then it will automatically make the part, and spit it out the other end.
Yep. Would it be an extractor?
Anything. Like here's an
firing
example of one here.
pins.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like small stuff like this, you can make in like 30 seconds. Like not even. There's probably less than that.
So this technology is called Swiss machine
Yep.
technology.
See it running in here.
Okay. Wow. So where you guys do all your heat treating and all of this stuff for any of these
We
items?
have partners with local vendors for heat
Yeah.
treating.
Okay.
Local companies, and we also have an oven here that we do some limited heat treating in.
Okay.
The things that are more simple heat treat, we're not, set up to really do complicated
Swiss
type
relieving
of.
for our barrels, though, in-house after hammering, and we'll show you that.
Okay. Wow.
All right.
Holy shit.
Exactly. I told you we had to keep going. We're gonna go down this way.
Yeah. So if you weren't here, like how many months ago was it? I forget.
It was in June.
This building was
like-
given to us in February of this year.
This was dirt in February of this year.
Was this place here during the next event?
Yes. But
It was.
Full. It wasn't full
Yeah,
yet.
it wasn't full. Yeah.
But it looks different.
But less than a year ago, this was dirt.
This was outside.
Okay.
So on this side again, you've got another cell setup for bolts and carriers. Okay, so this is our like bolts and carrier area, We're making bolts here, again on Swiss lathes.
Right.
And then we have mills behind it that are doing any sort of milling operations.
Wow.
Yeah, we can see the one that is, which is fine. So again, there's another bolt carrier cell here that's supporting the contract. It's actually three different types of pieces of equipment here to make a carrier, but they start in a lathe, they go to a horizontal mill for some more heavy milling, and then a rotary vertical to like spin the part around and make some of the more finer, complicated features.
All right, so there's a couple things I want to show you guys kind of in a random order, and then you'll have to edit how you want. But when SIG says that we make a rifle barrel, we make a rifle barrel.
Okay.
So we'll bring in, grab one of those blanks, Phil.
Wow.
We'll bring in bar stock, and depending upon the barrel that we want to make, we cut it to length.
Right.
Right? And then we gun drill it. So now we took bar stock that we brought in, we gun drill it to the size for whatever the caliber is.
Yep.
Right? And then we're gonna walk over, I'll show you the prep and how we turn this blank into a barrel.
All right, let's do it.
I wanna show them though. I just wanna show you guys this. You probably won't be able to use it, but this is our most state-of-the-art hammer.
Wow.
It's not running right now.
Right.
But we purchased this hammer to do.
This is a cool hammer?
Yeah. Yep. So I'll show you one running, but
Okay.
this one is not. This is just our brand new one.
This is the one that you just hear like bang, 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 bang.
You don't hear it?
You don't hear it.
You do hear it, but this one you don't hear
This
it.
is what you're looking for.
Okay. So, but where's a blank? We don't have one.
You want me to grab it?
No. For this particular part, we don't have it. Yeah, all right. So we start with something about that size.
Right.
And it comes out like that.
Yeah, so what it's doing is there's a mandrel on the inside of this that puts the rifling in, and then the hammers themselves, the hammers themselves are around the outside, and they're opposing, and they'll hammer this down onto that mandrel while this is spinning, okay?
Right.
And as it's hammering, it's drawing it out, okay? So that's how you're going from
There to here, stretching.
there to there, stretch.
So there's no milling. It's
It's
No.
just purely forging this shape, and the process putting the rifling on the inside.
Right.
freaking cool.
So if we look at the inside of it, we'll go over to a different hammer. We can show you the inside.
Okay.
This is the mandrel that goes inside.
Yep.
Right. So the machine itself is gonna hammer down onto this mandrel, drop and like pull it back and turn all at the same time. Like I don't even know how. I couldn't even tell you. Like I have a hard time describing like exactly how all that like. It's not that I don't know what's going on. It's just trying to put it in like words that make sense. Like to most people, I just trust me. It works.
It goes in, it goes through, it pinches, and it also spins
Yeah.
at the same
All
time.
the while on the outside, it's just like putting
Right.
that pressure in.
This hammer is like 180 tons that it comes in and forces in towards the barrel.
The weight of 1,000 suns on a barrel.
Many Volkswagens.
There you go. Holy shit.
Make a mount up there, but
This is also what you need to pay attention to when it comes to your pistols.
oh yeah, dude, I really am.
All right, so there's a gun drill over here.
Okay.
So I'll show you like the gun drill, the hone, and hammer kind of all at once, and then you come. Yeah, you'll see.
All right.
Hey, start here.
There you go. You hear it.
Yeah, you hear it. Yeah.
Start here. It's just easier to describe.
What's going on, gents?
Yeah, it's fun. Don't mind us. Okay, so this is the start of our barrel manufacturing process. It's gun drilling. So we're taking the long steel blank and we're putting the base hole down through it. We got 3 of these machines. You'll see more equipment over there as well.
Right.
But just like for a visual, this is how it starts, okay? This is your drill. very long and flexible with these supports here. You can see like how super flexible it is.
Right.
You pump high pressure oil through here. The drill pilots itself and makes its own hole, and then drills through your barrel. The oil comes out the tip of this and pushes the chips back that way to clear out clear it out. Yeah. We have drills set up ready to go. They change them, and then when they're done, we resharpen them in house and then keep going.
Wow, okay. Wow.
After you finish drilling a barrel, the next step is profiling the outside for the hammer forge,
Right.
and honing the inside to size and service finish in preparation to go into the forge as well.
Okay.
So that's what you're going to see right here.
Okay.
Over here, you've got the lathes that put that outside shape on the barrel. It's just what the hammer needs. There's no real like magic to it.
Right.
Then we're one of the few companies that will hone the inside, so we get the size and service finish using these two machines here. They stroke up and down, very similar to like honing an engine block or really anything. Sonnen makes hones for literally everything on the planet. Right. So after they're profiled, honed, they'll go to hammer.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's the start.
Yep.
He's just gonna show you like what the base stuff looks like.
So we take the gun drill blanks, like Phil just showed you, right? And then we prep them. That's what we're doing here. Okay. The OD gets prepped so that it's ready to be hammered. We have a taper for the lead-in edge and the hammer, and an area to grip onto it. But this is still just gun drilled, and a lot of times there's drill circles in there.
Right.
We don't want those in your rifling.
Right.
So we'll hone there in the vertical hones. Right. Once it's honed, now it's ready for hammer.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we go. That part of the barrels goes over to the hammer next. We have 3 different hammers that we utilize.
Okay.
This gentleman here is running what we call hammer 1.
Okay.
So he puts his barrel blank here on the tray.
Yep.
And then the robot actually loads the hammer. So you have your driver on this side and then a receiver on the other side.
Okay.
So the barrel comes out. So in this particular case, we're starting with this blank. And then it comes out. Now you said it was cold working. You feel it's a little warm, right?
It just got out. Pressure and ease, man. That's awesome.
So we cleaned a few of them so you can see.
Okay. We'll show you what it looks like here.
Okay.
So like,
start out with the honed finish. You can see a nice cross hatching on the walls.
Right.
Kind of like a cylinder bore, right?
Okay, and then after honing, after hammering, you can see again.
Rifling.
That's your fully formed rifling.
Right.
And you can still see that like same cross hatching in here. I mean, that's like, I can't describe to you like how smooth that is. It's like, it won't get any better. Like, for a gun barrel, this is what you want.
Right. And after this, we're heading to coating, right? Oh no.
No, there's even more fun after that.
Oh, get a blank. Okay.
That's just to make like the start of a barrel.
All right.
We're not even halfway through.
Oh
I'll show you how the rest.
All right.
This whole aisle, like check this out. This whole aisle, like right here, all this is what you need. All this stuff to make barrels. This whole side of the factory is just barrels.
So what we do next is we load racks of barrels, like the ones that you see here, barrel blanks, into the furnaces, and we stress relieve them over about an 8 to 10 hour period. Okay. So then the barrels come out. Now they're normalized, right? They're not stressed, so that when you heat up that barrel blank again, when you're firing your rifle, it doesn't move around on you. Okay. So now we have to take that barrel blank and turn it into a barrel. So we start going through a series of what we call profiling operations.
Okay.
So we grip the barrel on one end and turn all of these OD properties, gas block shoulder, muzzle brake threads, but this is still not chambered, right? And then in the next step, we'll hold it on this end and we'll chamber it and put the threads on for the barrel extension.
This cell is set up to do the OD profile start to finish. So we feed material on the backside. The robot will feed either lathe, and then the robot will also load a laser inspection system that's on the inside here, okay? You'll see the data come back on the screen, and then the computer will automatically adjust all the tools in that machine to compensate for tool wear and things like that.
Right.
Then it will get spit out of here.
Okay.
So this is currently structured. This month we'll produce 16,000 different variations of rifle barrels.
And it can do many different, like, whatever, so many of them I can't even keep track.
Okay,
All
so
I do is chamber.
once we get down to the end here,
right.
now we're ready for coating, like
Okay,
you brought up
there you
earlier,
go.
right? And so we'll send out to coating, but we bring all of the rifle barrels back here.
Okay.
Right? So here's an example of a machine gun barrel. We make all different types of barrels and geometries. Right? So once they go up for chrome or nitriding or DLC, FNC, whatever it is, whatever the recipe calls for, we bring the barrels back because the assembly process actually requires some machining. Okay. So we'll kit the barrels with the gas block, the barrel extension, the pins, whatever goes into it, and then we use these lines here to take those kitted components and build a finished barrel assembly. So if you look here, it's just a horseshoe cell. The components start out here and they go all the way around and they come out the other side as a finished barrel. So in that particular case, we have a barrel extension on there that still needs a gas block.
But again, the same style here. Like any one of these cells can make any barrel assembly we need. Okay, they could just be changed over, and it's a combination of purchased equipment and machines that we design in house to assemble what we need to make happen.
And that's another thing that we've seen at every place. Like, you guys don't outsource anything. Your engineers are making stuff in house to solve the problems that are here in house. So that's awesome.
Right.
We have a full complement of cutting tool engineers, manufacturing engineers, our design engineers, but also automation engineers, all in-house.
And that's
also CMM programming engineers. We have assembly engineers. Did you say assembly engineers? I wasn't paying attention.
So it's like, what, over 400 engineers literally on staff?
More than that, yes.
Jesus.
Because R&D alone is 200.
I know there's over 180 just like on the manufacturing side, and then engineers for R&D, there's like the rest.
And that's just here in New Hampshire. We're not talking about like ammunition or optics.
Yeah. That's just for New Hampshire engineers supporting the manufacturing.
Wow.
This is a wide variety of different barrels. Like this is a
MPX.
The barrel, right?
Yeah.
So
MPXK. Okay.
So all of them to these 3 cells.
Wow.
All right, so again, like we designed the machine. It's all set up in the cell. What he's doing here is put the barrel in, and we're going to press the barrel extension on. So he loads it, hands out of the way. That'll set that, and then next op will. What's next? We're
chamber.
Oh yeah, polishing chamber.
After that, then we check the headspace and check the timing.
Nice.
Once that's done, then it goes into one of our drill pin machines. We put dowel pins through the through the extension to secure the extension to the barrel, and then we'll put the gas block on, drill through that, and that'll secure the gas block to the barrel.
Perfect. That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So
appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
So everything gets pressed on and then pinned on. Everything that you saw in that barrel is like either ground or honed, to be like the correct transition fits and things like that. Making sure that it's. Behind you is like our tool setting area, so a lot of the tools for the entire factory, not on these racks, on the other side, right, are getting set up like to support the machines within the plant.
Wow.
All right, so This whole aisle is classic frame. So this is all of your 226, 229, 1911. And then down the end, you'll see some more smaller steel parts. We also do our broaching here. The broaching is shared between your rifle lower receivers and your pistol frames.
I heard
like they gotta have both, so we put it right in the middle.
I heard that the grapevine there may or may not be officially. We can turn around this way.
Oh, yeah,
maybe a double stack 1911 possible.
Well, I mean, you know, like anything's possible. You know what I mean? Like. I won't show you those machines then, if that's what you're asking. All right, so down the other end, we'll prepare the frame blank where we put the broach magwell in. All right, it's qualified, ready to go on a machine. So what the operator does, he'll load this in. A few operations later, you'll pull out fresh finished 229, I think it's 229 frame. So we go from the raw base metal extrusion to the, you can call it the blank, to your finished frame here, aluminum, ready to go in for finishing.
Wow.
It's like a pretty heavy difference. It's
yeah,
like,
I see.
We get like, the amount of metal we recycle around here. So 1911, again, your prep blank going through the horizontal machine with a special rotary in place. So in a few operations, you go from this to your final steel 1911 frame. And these are made from forgings.
Okay.
And this is like, I know 1911 guys are like they're kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but like, they expect a particular kind of like, you know, like feel and finish, like with the slide and you know, many years ago when we first started making these, we would actually like hand lap the slide to the frame. Okay. While that sounds awesome to a 1911 guy, it's a nightmare to a manufacturing guy. Okay.
Right.
Since then, what we've done is we've been able to, like, with a combination of the cutting tools and just the design and the manufacturing, the tolerances, and just you name it, right? We're able to recreate that without having to do that anymore.
That's awesome.
Okay, like there's no hand fitting of guns on our assembly line. The stuff goes together, and if like you needed to put a different slide on another 1911, it's gonna feel and fit the same and obviously work the same. You know, that again, it's like car parts.
Right.
You know, we're not messing around with that kind of like 1911, like, you know, like, I don't know how to say it, but you know, I'm not a gun guy, but like I like making stuff, so like.
But it's still awesome. I get it.
That one's the single stack.
I got you.
From a forging now.
Yep.
I just want you to see this. You're running out of time.
I got you.
Your handler's about to give you the hook.
Oh, okay.
So during COVID, we realized that we had a supply chain risk when it came to magazines.
Right.
And a quality magazine is critical for the function of the firearm.
Right.
So SIG took that to heart and developed their own in-house magazine production process. But in true SIG fashion, we didn't just do it any old way. We developed a fully automated line. We now do about 120,000 9mm mags a month.
Wow.
So we'll start down here.
Wow.
I remember this. This is pretty cool, dude. Check it out.
So we bring in a sheet metal magazine. If you check here, it's got a seam in it and it's punched for the round count. So
That's just this step right here. All of this right here is just that.
So just a folded piece of sheet metal. We wash it, load it onto a pallet.
Right.
Okay. And then from there,
it goes through Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
It does. It does look like that.
we take a carbon mandrel and support the magazine, crimp it to a specific width, and then laser weld it. And if you watch, you can see the laser go down one magazine, come back the other.
So you're talking about like a second, 2 seconds for laser welding?
It's a few seconds, but you can see
you can make a mag
did
every
one. It's probably about 3 seconds one way, and then 3 seconds
the other way.
Now, so that's not what you want your magazine to look like. Okay?
Right.
So from there, we We have a robot unload that trolley car, and we robotically polish the seam of your magazine. So then now it's perfectly smooth.
This is like the SIG, like a lot of, I don't know, like we've always had that nice like finish on the back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So then we send them out for heat treat.
Okay.
They'll come back in looking dull like this.
Right,
We'll
right.
send them over here to those large vibratory tumblers. We'll tumble them.
Yep.
We do in-house black oxide. You asked about finishes.
Yep.
We have a black oxide line. It's dedicated to magazines.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
You can't tell anymore. Look at this thing.
You can barely tell on the inside.
Well, yeah, right.
Like, where's the seam?
I don't care about the inside, right?
I know.
Boom.
Well, that's where the
Yeah, that's what you should care.
So you can see magazine waiting here that just came out of the black oxide line.
Wow.
And then getting back to that quality component, we measure the distance that the round comes through. We call it the feed lips. And this machine sets that to a specific gap.
Okay.
And it'll give you the machine twice. A magazine can go around twice before it's rejected. If it's good, it's offloaded, and we still assemble all of our magazines by hand.
Wow. So because of COVID, you guys found a new way and avenue to keep everything even more in-house and then take it to the next level. That's awesome. It's amazing how like necessity is the mother of all inventions, right? Because out of it, so now you guys again are turning the tail of, hey, we can do it in-house, fix it, and we actually control more of it. That's awesome. And you said 120,000?
120,000 various 9mm mags each month.
Wow. A little intimidating, but that's still good numbers, obviously, right? They have to keep up with production. That means think about 120,000 magazines. If you divide that by 3, yeah. That's awesome. Wow. Wow. Guys.
I'm not a gun guy.
Damn. Damn.
I don't make.
Wow.
Wait, what happened?
No, I'm just 120,000 magazines, bro. If you divide that by normally like 2 per, you can do the math quick.
3. But we still purchase a small component of the pistol mags that we sell.
Which is what, just the spring?
No, a small portion of it.
Oh, okay.
You know, I was just talking to like,
What I really love about SIG Sauer, the whole magazine thing, the P320 magazine, they're very, very popular, right? They're out there. But P365 gives you the same capacity we were just talking about, yet smaller, slimmer. I mean, it's no brainer, and I fully agree with you.
Personal choice, like what frame you like more, but I mean, like, I know for, you know, like my fiance likes the 365. Like I like a 320, but I'm a big enough guy. Like you know, it's really, but they make a pistol for literally anybody.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. Like P365 mags are so freaking popular now because of how slim and small, but yet the same capacity. Man, I love it. The guys just figured that out. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Here, take your not magazine.
Sorry.
Because it's so important to the design, that's why we produce it in-house, right?
Wow.
So we're going to step up to this overview here, just so you can get a feel for the
whole ordeal. And we're standing at what, 280,000 square feet?
That's correct.
Wow. Wow. And wow. Overview. Whew. Holy shit. Wow.
So this gives you, remember, we're not really seeing the NGSW wing now. This gives you a full feel of the scale of the manufacturing location.
This is awesome. You guys hit everything right on the nose, whether it be, again, just like how we saw on the assembly side, the amount of QC that goes into the process is exactly replicated here where it actually starts. So this is the most, right here, boots hit the ground, we fix it here, and then it goes over there, and you got, I'm amazed. I don't know about you guys. You've been tuning into this so far, and we've been running, and I'm trying to catch my breath here, and there's a lot going on, obviously. Pride in the company. Not only that, your leadership, giving the autonomy for you guys to do all of this, and really putting in, you know, the bread for this to make actually the butter of what we've got going on. So, to me, we're chewing the bush. You know? So, Wow. RC, cool guy.
This is what you're seeing, like out this window. You're seeing a factory designed to make firearms.
Right.
I mean, this place is laid out specifically, to our business.
Right.
You see like the bus bars on the ceiling lined up specifically for their power requirements.
Mm-hmm.
You see the white lines for coolant, the blue lines for air. I mean, like the place is set up to be flexible and to do what we need it to do.
Right.
Again, this is another cell here that's doing doing upper receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Behind, you can see the whole back row of barrels, and some of our older machines making the classic line.
That's their 15-minute tour of Rochester.
All right, we have come to the end of this amazing SIG SAUER factory tour, whatever, fun with friends, right? Dude, I think this place, I was impressed everywhere, but I had a lot more fun here.
This is where the rubber meets the road. Yeah. This is where things actually get physically made.
Yeah.
What we've been seeing is normally like assembly stuff, so it's finished product, and so this is where the brilliant minds are actually putting the everything together, checking it twice, actually physically making it out of the raw material, whether it be NGSW program, MCX, 226, 1911, 229, everything.
And love the guys, obviously. Great team. Yeah. I mean, the company is incredible. I have so much respect for SIG SAUER. And the people, man, how fun they are and how much they love their job. That just shows that how much this company cares about its employees and the product's quality, how clean this place was. I can just go on and on and on. Guys, this was, for me, you can speak for yourself too, it was one of the best factory tours I've ever had, if not the best. And I've been to a lot of firearms factories and other factories too. We had a lot of fun. What do you think?
Yeah, this is definitely up there, man. They've got a unique process, and the proof is in the pudding. I mean, you see why and what you get. So
yeah, guys and folks, I hope you guys appreciate this content we created for you. We flew all the way up here to Portsmouth or Portsmouth. Hey, listen, it's
English is not your thing.
Listen, but hey, well, hold on. It's Ports, M-O-U-T-H. M-O-U-T-H.
Portsmouth.
It's mouth.
It's okay.
Okay, fine. I'll just say Portsmouth. English is weird. Anyways, we came all the way out here to create this content for you guys. I hope you guys appreciate it. Let us know in the comment section your thoughts.